In this video, I'll be walking you step by step through the entire process of customizing the flexible and feature-rich Aurora theme on Shopify. You'll discover how to create a professional homepage by adding various sections, including several banner types, product collections, rich text, a video, pop-ups, a newsletter sign-up, and much more. From your store header to the footer, I'll show you how to add each theme section and personalize it with your own content to build an online store that will grab customers' attention. You can use this guide to build your Shopify store with any theme, but for this demonstration, I'll be using the flexible and feature-rich Aurora theme. This is a paid theme, so it will have several features and capabilities that may not be available with free themes on Shopify. So let's log into Shopify and go over how to install and fully customize the Aurora theme to build a professional online store. If you haven't joined Shopify yet, make sure you head over to learnwithjason.com or simply click the link in the video description to unlock your free trial. So once you get to Shopify, go ahead and log in. This should take you to your Shopify account dashboard. Here's where you can add new products, view your analytics, and manage your online store. So the first thing we're going to do is browse and add a theme from the Shopify theme store. For this tutorial, I'll be installing the powerful Aurora theme. So from your Shopify account dashboard, go ahead and look at the menu on the left-hand side and click the Online Store tab. Here's where you can view and customize the theme that you're currently using. View your theme library, and down at the bottom, you can also access the Shopify theme store. So to check out all the themes available in the Shopify theme store, let's click the Visit Theme Store button at the bottom right here. This should open up a page where you can view all the various themes that are available in the Shopify theme store. They have tons of free and paid themes with various features and capabilities. But for this demonstration, I'll be testing out the Aurora theme. So let's go up to the search icon up top here. And in the search box, let's type in Aurora. From the drop-down menu, you should see a tab that says Aurora theme. Let's click that now. This should take you to a page where you can view all of the details and features of the Aurora theme. Aurora is a versatile theme that's perfect for both small and high volume sellers. It has a huge selection of customizable sections and blocks, which can help you create a unique and distinctive online store that perfectly aligns with your brand. Not only does Aurora offer standard theme sections like slideshows and featured collections, but also scrolling text, before and after images, hotspots, countdown banners, lookbooks, and much more. This is a paid theme, but they offer an unlimited free trial, so you only need to pay if you decide to publish it. So to install the Aurora theme and follow along, go ahead and click the Try Theme button here. You can then follow the steps to install your theme, and once it's finished, it'll be available in your theme library. Your theme library allows you to add several themes to your Shopify store and switch between them whenever you like. So as you can see, the Aurora theme has been added to my theme library, but before we publish it, we'll need to customize it. So to customize the Aurora theme, let's go to the right-hand side here and click the Customize button. This will open up the theme customization menu where you can fully customize your Shopify theme. As you can see, your theme will have several sections already enabled by default, which you can customize or remove if you like. The Aurora theme has a vast amount of sections to choose from, but the sections that are available will vary depending on the theme that you're using. So you've installed your Shopify theme, but before we start customizing the various sections, let's go over how to edit your theme settings. From your theme settings, you can adjust your store's appearance by changing the typography and colors, upload a favicon, add your social media links, and much more. This will allow you to adjust the overall style of your online store and personalize it to perfectly match your brand. So let's head over to the Shopify theme customization page and go over how to access and adjust your theme settings. To access your theme settings, let's look at the three icons at the top of the menu on the left-hand side here and click the theme settings icon in the center. Here's where you can adjust various settings for your theme, such as the appearance, typography, color schemes, your product cards, and much more. Keep in mind, you don't have to add everything at once, but let's go over how to add the important stuff. Under the Appearance tab, you can adjust your page width using the slider bar here, and adjust your edge rounding, which applies to cards, buttons, section corners, and other parts of your store. Rounded edges, like the one seen here, can provide a really clean and professional look. From the Typography tab, you can adjust your store's heading font, body font, menu font, and the fonts for other parts of your online store. When changing your typography, make sure you select the fonts that match your brand. The next tab you can adjust here is the Color Schemes tab. Here's where you can select the default colors for all the various parts of your online store. Just like with your typography, when you're selecting your colors, make sure they match your brand. Feel free to check out the other theme settings tabs, but for this tutorial, let's go down to the favicon tab. Here's where you can upload an image to use for your store's favicon. A favicon is a small square image or logo that appears next to your store's web address in a browser tab. Adding a favicon can help build your brand identity and help customers identify your store. When adding an image for your favicon, make sure you upload a square image. It will automatically be scaled down to 32 by 32 pixels. So to add my favicon, let's click the Select Image button in the center here. This will open up a window where you can upload the image that you want to use for your favicon. To upload my image, let's click the Add Images button here. You can then find and open up the image or logo that you want to use. Once it finishes uploading, make sure you have it selected, then go down to the bottom right and click the Done button. And my Shopify store now has a favicon. If you needed to change or remove your favicon, you can easily do that by clicking the Change button here. But I'm gonna stick with this one, so let's close the favicon tab and go down to the next thing I want to add in this tutorial, which is your social media links. If we click the social media tab, it'll open up a menu where you can add the various links to all of your social media brand pages. This includes Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, now known as X, YouTube, Pinterest, and many others. To add my Facebook brand page to my Shopify store, let's go to the Facebook text field here and type in or paste in my Facebook brand page URL. By adding links to your social media pages, you can enable social media icons to appear in various places in your online store. Feel free to check out the other theme settings and adjust anything else that you like. And once you're finished, go ahead and go up to the top right here and click the Save button. And the changes to my theme settings have been saved. Now that we've adjusted our theme settings, let's go back to the three icons on the left here and click the top icon to go back to the theme customization menu. Here's where we'll be customizing our online store homepage, so make sure you have the homepage tab selected from the drop-down menu up top here. If you look at the menu on the left, you'll see that the top section we can customize is our header group. Your header group includes sections like an announcement bar and your store header, which contains your menu, logo, shopping cart icon, and more. The header group sections are displayed on all pages of your online store, so it's a very important section that you should optimize. So to get started, let's go over how to keep customers updated with an auto-rotating announcement bar. An announcement bar is a section of your online store that shows announcements at the top of your store's homepage. It can be used to display a welcome message, notify shoppers about new products, promote upcoming sales, or anything else you wish to highlight. You can display multiple announcements with the auto-rotating feature, and links can also be added, allowing you to promote products or collections. So let's head over to the theme customization menu and go over how to add and customize an announcement bar. From the menu on the left, your announcement bar can be added to your header group. For most themes with the announcement bar capability, it will already be enabled by default. But if it's not, you can click the Add Section tab under your header group to find and add an announcement bar. So let's start by customizing the style of our announcement bar by clicking the announcement bar main tab here. This will open up a menu where you can customize the style and layout of your announcement bar. At the top here, you can use the checkbox to show your announcement bar on all your pages or only on your home page. Next, you can use the drop-down menu here to select the color scheme for your announcement bar. They have several options to select from, so select the one that looks best with your store and matches your brand. Next, you can select your announcement bar width, which will adjust based on the screen the shopper is viewing your store on, and select whether or not to show your navigation arrows. If I'm displaying more than one announcement, I like to show my navigation arrows so it's easy for customers to navigate and know there's other announcements available. But if you like, feel free to click the checkbox here to remove the arrow. In the next section here, you can select whether your announcements will autoplay and select the autoplay speed. If you don't want auto-rotating announcements, you can select the None button. But to have my announcements auto-rotate, let's select the one at a time option. I can then use the autoplay speed slider bar here to select the number of seconds I want each announcement to be displayed. For my store, let's just show each announcement for 3 seconds. You then have the options to show your language selector, your currency selector, and your social media icons. Hopefully you've already added your social media brand pages to your theme settings, so when you select the option here, you'll be able to see your social media icons appear in your announcement bar. So now that we've customized the style and settings of our announcement bar, let's click the back button here to go back to the theme customization main menu. So we've updated the style and layout of our announcement bar. Now let's go over how to add our announcements. If you look at the left hand side of the announcement bar tab, you should see a drop down arrow. Let's click that now. And here's where you can create and edit your announcements. There are already 2 announcements added by default, and if I wanted to add another announcement, I could click the Add Announcement tab at the bottom here. So let's edit my first announcement by clicking the top tab here. This will open up a menu where I can write my announcement, add a link, and even add an icon. So first, let's use the text field up top here to write my announcement. Your announcement can be anything that you like, whether it's promoting a sale, highlighting a collection, or simply a welcome message. For my first announcement, I'm just going to welcome customers to my store. I then have the option to add a link to my announcement, but since it's just a welcome message, I'm going to skip this for now. With the Aurora theme, I also have the option to add an icon or a custom icon to my announcement. If I click the icon drop-down menu here, you'll see a list of tons of different default icons that you can add. Feel free to browse through the list and find an icon that best fits your announcement. For this example, I'm just going to go with the shopping bag. Once you select an icon, you'll see it appear beside your text in your announcement bar at the top. If you wanted to upload your own image to use as your icon, you can click the Select Image button here. But for my first announcement, I'm just going to stick with the shopping bag, so let's click the back button to go back to the theme customization main menu. So from the announcement bar drop-down menu, I've finished editing my first announcement, so now let's click the second tab here to edit my second announcement. Just like before, let's add my second announcement to the text field up top here. This time, instead of a welcome message, I'm going to encourage visitors to view our latest products. And since this announcement is promoting my products, I'm going to add a link as well. If you click the link field here, it'll open up a menu where you can view all the various pages of your online store. For this announcement, I think I'll add a link to send customers to view all of my collections. So I can simply click the Collections tab, and I can select an individual collection or select the All Collections tab here at the top. Since I selected to link my announcement to all collections, when a shopper clicks my announcement, they'll now be taken to a page where they can view all of my product collections. And next, just like before, we can select an icon to go with our announcement as well. So I've finished editing my second announcement, so let's click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So my online store now has 2 auto-rotating announcements, and if I wanted to add another, I could click the Add Announcement tab here. A new tab will then be added to the announcement bar section. If you hover over one of your announcements, you'll notice 2 icons appear on the right hand side. If you click the eyeball icon on the far right, you can hide the announcement from being shown in your online store. And if you click the trash can icon, of course, you can delete your announcement. So now if we check out my announcement bar up top here, we can see my social media links, my auto-rotating text and icon, my language and currency selector, and my navigation arrows so customers can switch between my announcements. Before continuing, let's use the icons up top here to see how the announcement bar looks on other devices. And here's how my announcement bar will look on a mobile device. I think that looks pretty good. So now that I've finished adding my announcements, let's go up to the top right here and click the Save button. And all of my changes have now been saved. So that's an overview of how to add and customize an announcement bar in your Shopify store. So next, let's go over how to customize one of the most visible parts of your online store, which is your header. Your store's header is displayed at the top of every page and features your navigation menu, store logo, card icon, and more. With the Aurora theme, you can enable an enhanced menu, which can show images, products, or collections in the drop-down menu. So let's head over to the theme customization menu and go over how to customize your store header. So if we look at the header group menu on the left, we should see the header tab enabled by default. You can also see a preview of your header and any changes that you make on the right hand side here. To get started, let's go over how to customize the style and layout of the header. To do this, go ahead and click the header tab here. This will open up a menu with several customization options for your header. At the top here, you can select your header color scheme. If you click the color scheme drop-down menu, you'll see several options that you can select from to use for your header. Feel free to browse through the color schemes and find the one that best fits your store and matches your brand. Next, you can also select your header width, and underneath this, you can select your header layout. If we click the layout drop-down menu here, we can select the layout of our logo and our menu, or select to turn our menu into a drawer. Feel free to test out different layouts and see which one you like the best. For my online store, I think I'll have my logo in the center and the menu in the center below it. And my header layout has been updated. Next, you have the option to show a separator, and below this, you can enable a sticky header. When you select this, instead of staying at the top of the page, when the customer scrolls down your online store, the header will stick and follow as well. This is great so shoppers can always have easy access to your menu. Next, you can adjust your menu settings. If we look at the tabs here, you can select to open up a drop-down menu when a customer hovers over your menu or clicks. I'm gonna leave mine on hover. And in the next section here, you can select the navigation menu that you want to display in your header. One of your menus may already be added by default, but to change your menu, let's click the Change button here. From the drop-down menu, we can then click the Change Menu tab. This will open up a section where you can view all the menus that you've created for your Shopify store, and where you can create a new menu if you like as well. So for my online store, let's select my other main menu here. When you select a new menu, you'll also see it update on the preview on the right. So now that I've selected a new menu for my header, let's go down to the bottom here and click the Select button. And my header menu has been updated. In the next section here, we can add our logo to our header. As of now, you can see my header simply displays my store name, but we're going to change this to my brand logo. To add my logo, let's go to the desktop logo section here on the left and click the Select Image button. Here's where you can view images that you've previously uploaded to Shopify and where you can upload new images as well. To upload my logo, let's click the Add Images button here. You can then find and open up your logo image. Once it finishes uploading, make sure you have it selected, then click the Done button at the bottom right. And my brand logo has been added to my header. Adding your logo to your header can help build brand awareness, recognition, and build a better connection with customers. If we go to the slider bar underneath here, we can also adjust our logo size. If I move the slider bar over to the right, you'll notice my logo get bigger on the preview. Feel free to adjust your logo until it's exactly the way you want it. Underneath this, you also have the option to add a different logo for your mobile view. By default, your mobile view should display your desktop logo, so I think I'll just stick with this. In the next section here, you have the option to adjust the style of your heading icons. If you click the icon style drop-down menu here, you'll see several styles that you can select from. These include both solid styles and outline styles. Feel free to select the style that you like best. And for our cart icon, we have the options to make it a bag or a cart. Let's change it to a cart. And the shopping cart icon in my header has been changed. So I've finished adjusting the style and layout of my header. So let's go back to the theme editor main menu and see what else we can do. With the Aurora theme, we can create a dynamic menu, allowing us to add pop-up style blocks to our menu tabs. So to check this out, let's go over to the header tab and click the drop-down arrow on the left. This will display several block types that you can customize for your header menu. This includes an images block, where you can add up to 9 images to the menu item to show your products, provide brand information, or anything else you like. A featured collection block, where you select a collection to attach to a menu item that appears as a carousel of products. And a collection list block, where you can select the collections that appear in the menu. So first, let's start by customizing my images block by clicking the images tab here. Here's where you can customize the images block and see a preview of the section on the right. So at the top here, we can select which menu tab we want to link the images block to. Simply type in one of the tabs from the menu that you have selected, and the images block will be added to that tab. For my store, my images block will come up when the customer hovers over the Home tab. Next, I can select the color scheme for my images block. You can then select your color scheme and various card options, and if we keep scrolling down, we'll see the section where we can add our first image. Keep in mind, you can also add a video as well, but I'm just going to add an image. So let's go to the image section here and click the Select Image button. I can then click the Add Images button up top here and find and open up the image I want to use for my menu. When it finishes uploading, make sure you have it selected, then go down to the bottom right and click the Done button. And my first image has been added to my menu. Your image will also feature a text overlay, so let's go down and add our heading and body text. For this image, I'm promoting my women's classic tee. As you add your text, you'll notice it update on your image on the right hand side. Once you add your text, you can then go down and add a link label and a link. For my link label, I'm just gonna say View Product. Your link label should now be viewable on your image underneath your text. To add a link, let's click the link field. You can then select the part of your store you want to send the customer to. Since I'm promoting my women's classic tee, let's select to send customers to that product page. So for my header image block, I've added my first image, my heading, my body text, and my link. So now let's add the second image. I'm simply gonna go through the same process, but this time I'm gonna promote my men's hoodie. There we go. My menu home tab now has an image block that features my women's classic tee and my men's hoodie. And you actually have the option to add even more images if you like as well. But for this example, I'm just gonna stick with these two. So let's click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu and check out our other header blocks. The next block we have here is the featured collection block. If we click this tab, it'll open up a menu where we can add a featured collection to our header menu. At the top here, let's type in the menu tab that we want to add the featured collection to. For this example, I'm going to add it to my products tab. When customers hover over the products tab, they should see the featured collection that I select. To add my collection, let's go to the collection section here and click the select collection button. This will open up a menu where you can view all the collections that you've created on Shopify and where you can create a new collection if you like as well. When you select a collection, you should see it appear in the preview on the right. I'm going to go with my clothing and apparel collection, so let's go down to the bottom and click the select button. And my clothing and apparel featured collection has been added to my products tab in my header. Customers can now scroll through my products using the carousel of images here. Feel free to adjust other settings if you like, but for now, let's click the back button and check out the other header block. The next block we can add to our header is a collection list. If we click the collection list tab here, it'll take us to a menu where we can edit the collection list for our header. I'm gonna add the collection list to my collections tab, so let's go up top here and type in collections in the text field. We can now see a preview of my collection list on the right hand side. So to select the collections from my collection list, let's go over to the left hand side here and click the select collections button. For this example, I'm just gonna select all the collections that I currently have created. As you select your collections, you'll see them appear on the preview on the right. If you like, there's also a tab here where you can create a new collection. Once you're finished, go down to the bottom and click the select button. And my collections tab in my menu now features a collection list. Feel free to adjust other settings if you like. And once you're finished, go ahead and click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So we've customized our store header, and with the dynamic header with the Aurora theme, we were also able to add an image block, a featured collection block, and a collection list block to our menu tabs. If you wanted to add another block to your header menu, simply click the Add Block tab here. But for my store, I'm just gonna roll with these. Before we continue, let's go up to the top icons here and make sure my header looks good on mobile devices as well. So here's how my header will look on a mobile device. I have my logo here, my search and shopping icon, and my menu is in the drawer icon on the left. I think this looks great. So let's go up to the top right here and click the Save button. And my new header has been saved. So we finished customizing our header group. So now let's go over how to customize the Aside group and our Pop-up group. These sections feature menus and pop-ups that appear when a customer takes certain actions in your online store. The Aside group includes your cart drawer and your search drawer, which are each customizable. The Pop-up group allows you to enable several pop-up styles depending on your particular goals. So first, let's get started with the Aside group and go over how to customize your cart drawer. Your cart drawer is a menu that slides out from the right side of your store when a customer selects the cart icon or add to cart button. If the cart is empty when opened, a continue shopping button will appear that customers can click to close the drawer. Also, if you want the cart to open as a separate page instead, you can disable the cart drawer in your theme settings. So from the theme customization menu, let's check out the Aside group from the left-hand side menu. If you're customizing the Aurora theme, the cart drawer tab should be enabled by default. But if it's not, you can click the Add Section tab here to find and add it. So to customize our cart drawer, let's start by clicking the cart drawer main tab here. This will open up a menu where we can customize the layout and style of our cart drawer. While you're editing, you'll be able to see a preview of your cart drawer on the right. So at the top here, you can use the drop-down menu to select the color scheme for your cart drawer. There are several color schemes to choose from, so feel free to check them out and select the one that best matches your store. In the next drop-down menu here, we can select our image ratio. You have several options to choose from, but I'm just going to stick with the default. And if we go down to the two check boxes here, we have the options to show our order notes and show our taxes and shipping costs. For my cart, I'm going to keep these enabled. So I've customized the layout of my cart drawer, so let's click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So if we go back over here to the cart drawer tab, there should be a drop down arrow on the left hand side. If we click this, it'll display several blocks underneath the cart drawer tab. The first block we have here is the items block. In order for your cart to operate correctly, you don't want to remove the items block. So let's move on to the next block where we can select our related products. Here's where you can add product recommendations to your cart that customers may like. To hide the recommendations when the cart is empty, you can use the checkbox here. But for my store, I'm going to uncheck the box to always display my related products. Next, we can use the drop-down menu here to select the color scheme for our related products section. Feel free to select whatever color scheme you like, and you can change it later if you wish. Next, you can select the mobile layout for your related products section. You have the options to show your products in either a grid style or carousel style with vertical or horizontal cards. And underneath this, you can select your image ratio, but I'm just going to keep it on inherited. We can then move down to the text field here and add a heading for our recommended products section. For my heading, I'm going to have it say, check out our newest products. We can also adjust our heading size and alignment, but this will be much easier once we add our products and show the section. So let's scroll down to the show recommendations section. Here's where you can add the related products that you want to display. At the top here, you can select to show app-based recommendations, but for this example, I'm going to change it to manually selected. And finally, we can see the related products section appear on the left-hand side of our cart. Now that you can see the section, feel free to go back and adjust any of the other settings that you changed earlier. If we look at the two buttons here, we have the option to add a collection or individual products to our recommended products section. For my cart drawer, I'm going to click the button here to select individual products. This will open up a menu where you can view all of your Shopify products and select the ones that you want to display. When you select a product, you'll see it appear in the preview on the right hand side. Keep in mind, you can display up to 50 different manually selected products, but if you select it to go with app-based products, only 10 products can be displayed. Take your time and check all the products that you want to add. And once you're finished, go down to the bottom here and click the select button. And the on-side related products section in my cart drawer now has products. You can update or change your products anytime you like from the section here. Underneath this, you can use the slider bar here to select the maximum number of products to show. Since I'm displaying manually selected products, I can show up to 50. So I think I'm finished editing the on-side related products section for my cart drawer. So let's click the back button and go back to the theme editor main menu. So the next block we can customize in our cart drawer is our promo banner. If we click the tab here, it'll take us to a menu where we can customize the style of the promo banner that's displayed in our cart drawer. At the top here, go ahead and select a color scheme for your promo banner. For my banner, I think I'm gonna go with contrasting. There we go. You can then add your banner subheading, heading, and body text. You can use this section to promote upcoming sales, new promotions, or anything else you like. If you keep scrolling down, you can adjust your heading and your body text size. Simply use the drop-down menus here and select whatever sizes you wish. You can then choose to align your content to the left or to the center. And at the bottom here, you can actually add a button to your promo banner. Once you type in your button label, you'll see your new button appear in your promo banner on the right. In the button link field here, feel free to paste in a link or click the text field to open up a menu to select where to send your customer. For my button, I'm just going to add a link to view all my collections. And finally, at the bottom here, we can select our button style. Feel free to check out the various styles and select the one you like best. So now my online store has a fully customized cart drawer that includes a promo banner and related products. Before continuing, let's go to the icons up top here and see how my cart drawer looks on a mobile device. Not bad. I have my heading, my related products, my promo banner, my order notes, and my go to cart and checkout buttons. So if everything looks good, go ahead and go up to the top right and click the save button. And my fully customized cart drawer for my online store has been saved. The next section we'll be customizing in the aside group is your search drawer. Your search drawer is a menu that slides out from the right side of your store when a customer selects the search icon in your header. It includes a search box for customers to search your online store, and also recommended searches that you can edit. Keep in mind, if you want to disable your search drawer, you can do so from your theme settings. So from the theme customization menu, let's go to the aside group on the left-hand side menu. If you're customizing the Aurora theme, you should see the search drawer tab enabled by default. But if it's not, you can click the Add Section tab here to find and add it. So to customize the style and layout of our search drawer, let's click the Search Drawer tab here. This will open up your search drawer customization menu. As you can see, you can also see a preview of your search drawer on the right-hand side. So first, let's use the drop-down menu up top here to select the color scheme for our search drawer. Feel free to browse the various color schemes and select the one that you like best. For my store, I think I'm gonna go with the white text color scheme. Next, you can select the image ratio for your result images. And you can also use the slider bar here to select the number of results you want to show per category. I think I'll leave mine on 10. Next, let's move down to the recommendations section. Here's where you can add your heading and your recommended search queries. For my heading, let's change this to popular searches. When you update your text, you'll notice it update on the right-hand side preview as well. Now that I've updated my heading, let's go down and add my recommended queries. These are basically just recommended searches that you can add to your search drawer. When adding your queries, make sure you have each search term on a separate line. Once you're finished, everything should be updated on the right-hand side as well. So I've customized the search drawer for my online store. So let's go to the icons up top here and see how it looks on a mobile device. Not bad. I have my search bar up top, my heading, and my recommended searches. So now that I'm finished customizing my search drawer, let's go up to the top right here and click the Save button. And my new search drawer has been saved. So we finished customizing the cart drawer and search drawer in our side group. So now let's move on to the pop-up group. The pop-up group allows you to add customizable pop-ups that appear when a customer is browsing your Shopify store. Pop-ups are a great way to promote specific products, notify customers about special offers, ongoing promo campaigns, and even grow your email list. With the Aurora theme, there are several pop-up styles that you can add, including the promo lightbox, promo flyout, cookie banner, countdown promo, and a sign-up lightbox. So let's head over to the theme customization menu and go over how to add a custom pop-up to your online store. From the menu on the left-hand side, let's check out the pop-up group. Here's where you can add and manage the pop-ups for your online store. With the Aurora theme, you should see the pop-ups tab already enabled here, but if it's not, you can click the Add Section tab here to find and add it. So to add a new promo to my online store, let's go to the Pop-ups tab here and click the drop-down arrow on the left-hand side. This should open up a new tab that says Add Block. If we click this, it'll open up a menu where we can view all the various pop-ups that we can add to our pop-up group. As you can see, there are many options to choose from depending on your goals. But for this example, let's add a promo lightbox. When you select a pop-up, you'll notice it appear in the pop-ups tab on the left-hand side. So to customize my new pop-up, let's click the tab here. This will open up a menu where we can customize our pop-up and see a preview on the right-hand side. For this example, I'm using a promo lightbox pop-up, which is a pop-up that can be used to notify customers of ongoing promo campaigns, special offers, or other useful information about your store. So first, let's use the drop-down menu up top here to select the color scheme for my pop-up. There are several color schemes to choose from, so feel free to select the one that you like best. Next, we can use the slider bar here to adjust our content width. For my pop-up, I think I'll make the width a little bit shorter. Once you set your content width, you can then move down and adjust your conditions. This is where you can select the pages where your pop-up will appear. You can select to show your pop-up on all pages, on targeted pages, where you can add the target pages to the text field here, or on tagged product pages, where you can add the product tags to the text field here. If I type in t-shirts and hoodies, for example, the pop-up will only show up for product pages with those tags. If you use target pages or tagged product pages, your pop-up will only show up for the conditions you set. But for my online store, I'm going to select to show my pop-up on all pages. Now that I've selected my conditions, I can then move down and select when to show my pop-up. If you leave it on immediately, the pop-up will show up as soon as the customer visits your page. But for this example, let's have the pop-up appear on certain conditions. The first condition we can select here is a time delay. If you click the drop-down menu here, you can select how long the customer browses your page before the pop-up appears. If you select 30 seconds, for example, the pop-up will appear after the customer has browsed your page for 30 seconds. For my store, I'm not going to add a time delay, but I am going to add a page scroll depth. If I click the drop-down menu here, I can select the percentage of the page the customer needs to scroll down before my pop-up appears. If I select after 50%, for example, my pop-up will appear after the customer scrolls halfway down my page. You also have the option here to show your pop-up on an exit intent. This tracks your visitor's mouse movements and shows your pop-up when a customer is about to leave. This can be a great way to retain visitors and increase sales. Next, we can adjust our frequency, which is how often the pop-up is shown to a particular customer. If I select every 3 days, for example, the pop-up will only appear again to the customer after 3 days. In the next section here, you can edit your promo content. This includes adding your subheading, a heading, and your body text. Your text will depend on whatever you're creating your pop-up for. Whether you're highlighting an ongoing promotion, sharing news, announcing a new sale, or sharing important events about your store, you can use the fields here to add some attention-grabbing text. In the next two drop-down menus here, you can select your heading size and your body text size. The size of your text will depend on how many words you have and how you want your promo to look. In the next field here, we can actually add a discount code that will appear in our pop-up. If you need to create a new discount code, you can do this from your Shopify account dashboard. Once you create your discount code, simply paste it into the text field here. You should then see the discount code section appear in your pop-up in the preview on the right. This will make it easy for customers to copy and use your discount code during checkout. In the next text field here, you can add a disclaimer for any promotion that you might be running. The disclaimer will appear near the bottom of your pop-up. Underneath your disclaimer, we can use the options here to edit our content alignment. Go ahead and select whatever alignment you like, then move down to edit your buttons. First, go ahead and add a label for your promo button. Your button label will depend on the purpose of your pop-up, but for my button, I'm just going to say View Products. In the next text field here, you can add your promo button link. Simply click the text field and you'll see a menu where you can select where you want to send the customers to. For my button, I'm going to send customers to my clothing and apparel collection. And the link has now been added to my promo button. Next, we can use the options here to select our promo button style. You can select from solid, outline, or text. For my promo button, I'm going to stick with solid. In the next field here, we can also edit our close button label and our close button style. And underneath this, you have the option to select to show your social media icons in your pop-up. This is a great way to connect with customers and help them find your brand pages. In the next section here, you have the option to add an image or a video to your pop-up. For my pop-up, let's click the button here to add an image. This will open up a window where you can upload or find and select the image that you want to use. Once you add your image, you should then see it appear on your preview on the right. I think that makes my pop-up look much better. Now that I've added my image, I can then scroll down and select my image position. Feel free to try out various positions, but for my image, I'm going to stick with the left. And at the bottom here, you can adjust your image overlay capacity, your storefront overlay and colors, and your content blurring. This will determine how much your store is blurred in the background. So I've finished adding and customizing a new promo lightbox pop-up for my online store. Before we continue, let's go up to the icons up top here and see how my pop-up looks on a mobile device. Not bad. I have my text, my buttons, my discount code, and everything else we added. So now that I'm finished creating my pop-up, let's go up to the top right here and click the Save button. And my online store now has a pop-up that will appear when customers are browsing. So let's click the back button to go back to the theme customization main menu. So I've added one pop-up to my online store, but if you wanted to add another, simply go to the pop-ups menu and click the Add Block tab underneath here. This will open up a menu where you can select the type of pop-up that you want to create. Simply select your pop-up type, then follow the steps to customize it just like we did with our first pop-up. So we've finished customizing our header group, a side group, and pop-up group. So now let's move on to our template sections. Here's where you can add a vast range of sections to your online store to create a fully personalized homepage. In this section, we'll be going over how to add a slideshow and various banner types to your Shopify store. Slideshows and banners are a great way to boldly display images on your homepage. So to get started, let's go over how to add an attention-grabbing slideshow. A slideshow is a section on your homepage that displays multiple images as slides. The slides have the ability to auto-rotate and can be used to promote collections, show off products, or even share news about your store. Each slide not only includes a banner-sized image, but also can feature overlay text and a button link. Slideshows are typically one of the first things I display in my Shopify store because they can be a great way to welcome new or returning visitors. So from the theme customization menu, let's go to the template section on the left-hand side menu. Here's where you can add a slideshow to your Shopify homepage. For many themes, the slideshow tab may be enabled by default, but if it's not, simply go to the Add Section tab here to find and add it. So if we look here, my template section already has a slideshow tab, so let's click the drop-down arrow on the left-hand side here. From the drop-down menu, we can add various blocks to our slideshow. Each block will represent a different slide. If I click the Add Block tab, you can see that the Aurora theme offers two types of slides that I can add. They have an image slide and a split image slide. So first, let's add an image slide to my slideshow. Once you add a slide, you should see your slideshow appear on the right-hand side preview. From here, you'll be able to see all of your changes as you make them. So let's customize my image slide by clicking the Image with Text tab here. This will open up a menu where I can customize and add the details for my slide. At the top here, you can use the drop-down menu to select a color scheme for your slide. Feel free to try out different color schemes and select the one that you like. Next, we can upload an image for our slideshow, a different image for our mobile device if we like, or we can select to upload a video. For this example, I'm just going to add an image to my slide, so let's go up to the desktop image section here and click the Select Image button. This will open up a window where you can upload the image that you want to use for your slideshow. To upload my image, let's go up to the Add Images button here. I can then find and open up the image that I want to use for my slideshow. Once your image finishes uploading, make sure you have it selected, then click the Done button at the bottom right. And my image has been added to my slide. If we click the icons up top here, we can check and see how our image looks on mobile as well. As you can see, the image is a bit hard to see, so let's upload a different image for my mobile device. To upload a different image to use for your mobile view, let's go to the mobile image section on the left-hand side here and click the Select Image button. You can then go through the same process to select the image to use for your mobile view. There we go. So when a customer views my store on a desktop, they'll see this image, but when they view it on a mobile device, they'll see this image instead. So once you add the image for your slide, you can then scroll down and adjust your slide overlay. Using the sliders here, you can adjust your image overlay to make it lighter or darker so that you can easily read your text. Since I have white text, I'm going to make my image a bit darker so that it's easier to read. Once you adjust your image overlay, you can then scroll down and add the details for your content. From here, you can edit your subheading, your heading, and your body text. The text you use will depend on whatever you're highlighting on your slide. For this slide, I'm going to promote my clothing and apparel collection. Underneath the text field, you can use the drop-down menus here to select your heading size and your body text size. Your text size will depend on the amount of text you have and how you want your slide to look. You can then continue scrolling down to adjust your content position. From here, you can adjust your content's desktop position, its alignment, its width, and the spacing. Feel free to adjust these until you get the look of your slide exactly the way you want it. You can then adjust your content's position and alignment on a mobile device, and continue scrolling down to adjust your content background. Here's where you can view various options to add a background to your content on both desktop and mobile. There are various background options to select from, so feel free to check them out. For my store, I think I'm going to go with the solid background. This makes my text and buttons much easier to read. Next, we can use the fields here to edit our buttons. For each button, you can edit your button label, add a link to your button, and edit your button style. Your button label and links will depend on whatever it is your slide is promoting. Since I'm highlighting my clothing and apparel collection, I'm going to add a link to the collection and also a link to all of my products. And now that I've added my content, I think I'm actually going to use a different color scheme. Instead of white text, let's change this back to primary. I think I like that better. So let's go to the icons up top here and see how my slide looks on a mobile device. And on mobile, it looks like I forgot to add a background to my content. So let's go to the menu here, scroll back down to the content background section, and select the background for my mobile content. This is why it's important to check both desktop and mobile views while editing. So now I think my mobile view looks good. So I finished adding and customizing the first slide for my slideshow. So let's go up to the top right here and click the Save button. And my image slide has been saved. So let's click the back button to go back to the theme customization main menu. In order to have a slideshow, we'll of course need to have more than one slide. If we wanted to add another image slide, we could do this by simply clicking the Add Block tab underneath the slideshow section. From here, you can add more image slides to your slideshow, but with the Aurora theme, we can add a split image slide. A split image slide actually features two different images with text content in between them. You can use it to share news with your customers or draw attention to your collections or products. So let's add a split image slide to my slideshow by clicking the tab here. You'll then notice a new tab appear underneath the slideshow drop-down menu. So let's customize my split image slide by clicking the tab. You'll then see the customization menu on the left and a preview on the right. If we take a look at the preview, we can see that we have sections for images on both sides and text in the middle. At the top here, let's select our color scheme. Feel free to select whatever you like, but for this example, I'm just going to stick with the default. You can then use the sliders here to adjust your image proportion and your desktop content column width. Keep in mind, the layout is auto-optimized for mobile. For the sake of time, I'm just going to leave these as is. In the next section here, we can add our left image. If you like, you can use a different image for desktop and mobile, or even add a video. So let's add my left image by clicking the Select Image button here. You can then click the Add Images button up top, then find and open the image you want to use. When it finishes uploading, make sure you have it selected, then click the Done button at the bottom right. And my left image has been added to my slide. If we click the icons up top here, we can also see how my image looks on mobile. I think this looks pretty good, so I'm just going to use the same image for mobile devices. So now let's scroll down and go through the same process to upload our right side image. The images you use should complement whatever it is that you're highlighting on your slide. There we go. My split image slide now has images on both sides. Let's see how it looks on mobile. As you can see, my two images are at the top and my text is at the bottom. I think that'll work, so let's move on to the next section in our menu. Next, we can edit the content in the middle of our slide. Here's where we can add our subheading, our heading, and our body text. The text you use will depend on whatever it is you're promoting. For this slide, I'm going to promote my home and living collection. Once you add your text, you can then scroll down and use the drop-down menus here to adjust your heading size and your body text size. With the text being in the middle, you only have a little space to work with, so make sure you select a size that looks good. Using the next options here, we can adjust our content width and our alignment. For a split image banner, I think the content looks best aligned in the center. So now that we've added our images and our content, let's scroll down and customize our button. From here, you can add your button label, add a link for your button, and adjust your button style. And below this, you also have the option to add a second button if you like, but for this example, I'm just going to stick with one. So I've finished customizing my split image slide, so let's click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. And my slideshow now has two different slides that customers can toggle between. If you wanted to add even more slides, feel free to do this by clicking the Add Block tab underneath the slideshow drop-down menu. So we finished adding our slides and content, so let's finish up by adjusting our slideshow settings. To do this, let's click the slideshow main tab here. Here's where you can adjust various options for your slideshow, such as the color scheme, the width, and the padding. But we're going to scroll down and go to the navigation section. At the top here, you can select to show your navigation circles. These are the icons that appear at the bottom of your slides that customers can use to navigate between them. Next, you can select how to display your navigation arrows. If you show your navigation arrows, they can be seen at the bottom right-hand side of your slides. You can select to never display them, always display them, or display them only on hover. So next, let's move down and select our transition style. This is the animation that will be set when your slides transition between each other. You can select to have it fade, swipe, or transition seamlessly. And in the section below this, you can enable autoplay mode. You can select to show all of your slides one at a time on autoplay, and even use the slider bar here to select the number of seconds for each slide to be displayed. If I put this on 3 for example, each slide will be shown for 3 seconds before transitioning. You can also use the checkbox here to select to show or remove the play button at the bottom left of your slide. And finally, we can add our slideshow alt text. This is basically where you can describe your slideshow for customers that use screen readers. So now that we've finished adjusting our slideshow settings, let's go up to the top right here and click the Save button. And all of my changes have been saved. My Shopify store now has an auto-rotating slideshow that's sure to grab customers' attention. So we've added a slideshow, so next, let's go over how to add and customize an image banner. An image banner displays a large banner image that's paired with text and optional buttons. It can be used to display products, collections, or other information to shoppers browsing your homepage. This is a great way to grab customers' attention and highlight specific areas of your online store. So from the theme customization menu, let's go to the template section on the left-hand side menu. To add an image banner to our homepage, let's click the Add Section tab here. This will open up a window where you can view all the various sections that you can add to your theme. From the list here, go ahead and find the tab that says Image Banner. You should then see the Image Banner tab added to the template section on the left, and a preview now available on the right. So to customize our new banner, let's click the Image Banner tab. This will open up a menu where we can adjust our banner layout and add our content. So first, let's use the drop-down menu up top here to select the color scheme for our banner. Feel free to check out the various options and select the one that you like best. Next, you can adjust your banner width and the padding between sections. And then we can move down to add our banner image. With the Aurora theme, we can add a separate image for our desktop and mobile views, and if we like, we can choose to add a video instead. But for this example, I'm just going to upload an image, so let's click the Select Image button up top here. This will open up a window where you can view all the images that you've previously uploaded to Shopify, and where you can upload new images as well. To upload my banner image, let's go up to the Add Images button at the top here. I can then find and open up the image that I want to use for my banner. Once it finishes uploading, make sure you have it selected, then click the Done button at the bottom right. And my image has now been added to my banner. For this example, I'll be promoting my Quantum Designs beanie. Now that I've added my image, I think I'm actually going to change my color scheme to show darker text. There we go. I think I like that better. So let's scroll back down to the image section. Underneath our desktop image, we also have the option to add a different image for our mobile view. Sometimes your desktop image can look a little bit off when viewing it on mobile, but for my banner image, I think this looks good, so I'm just gonna roll with this. Next, we can scroll down and use the slider bars here to adjust the overlay opacities for both our mobile and desktop views. Adjusting your opacity will determine how dark or light your image is. You want to adjust this to make sure your text and other elements are easy to read. Next, let's move down to add our banner content. Here's where you can add a subheading, your heading, and your body text. The text you use will depend on whatever it is you're highlighting on your slide. For my banner, I'm adding text to promote my Quantum Designs beanie. As you add your text, you'll notice it update on the preview on the right as well. So next, we can scroll down and use the drop-down menus here to adjust our heading size and our body text size. Your text size will depend on the amount of text that you have and how you want your banner to look. Next, we can adjust the layout of our content by selecting our content position, alignment, width, and spacing. And just below this, you can adjust the position and alignment for your mobile content. Feel free to play around with these settings until they're exactly the way you want them. From the content background section, we can use the drop-down menus here to add a background to our content. Adding a background to your content can make your text and your buttons much easier to read. There are several options to choose from, so feel free to browse and select the one you like best. I think I'll go with a transparent background because it makes my text easy to read and you can still see my image. And underneath this, we can edit our buttons. Here's where you can edit your button label, add a link, and select your button style. To add a link to your button, simply click the link field here and select the page of your store that you want to send the customer to. For my button, I'm going to send the customer directly to my beanie's product page. We then have 3 options here for our button style, which is a solid button, an outline, or text. I'm going to leave my buttons solid. With the Aurora theme, we can have 2 buttons, so go ahead and follow the same steps to add your second button as well. For my second button, I'm going to link it to view all of my hats. And for my button style, I'm going to use an outline. So my image banner now has an image, my text, and buttons linking to my products. Before we continue, let's use the icons up top here to make sure my banner looks good on mobile as well. Not bad. My product is clearly viewable in my image, and you can read my text and see my buttons. So if everything looks good, go ahead and go up to the top right here and click the Save button. And my online store now has a new attention-grabbing image banner. When customers visit my homepage, they'll be able to view my banner and click the button to view my beanie product page or view all hats. So we've added a standard image banner to our homepage. Now let's go over how to customize and add a split image banner. Split image banners feature two different images on each side with text displayed in between them. These eye-catching and unique banners can be used to highlight collections, promote products, or anything else you like. Keep in mind, split image banners are available with the Aurora theme, but may not be an option with some other themes. So from the theme customization menu, let's go to the template section on the left-hand side menu. To add a split image banner to my homepage, let's click the Add Section tab here. This will open up a menu where you can view all the various sections that you can add to your theme. Go ahead and browse through the list and find the tab that says Split Image Banner. If we click this, the Split Image Banner tab will be added to the menu on the left, and we'll see a preview of the banner on the right. So let's customize my split image banner by clicking the tab here on the left-hand side. This will open up a menu where we can customize the layout of our banner and add our banner content. At the top here, you can select the color scheme for your banner. Feel free to browse the options and select the one that best matches your store. Next, you can adjust your banner layout by changing the banner width, adjusting your padding, your desktop ratio, your image proportion, and your desktop content width. Feel free to adjust these to customize your banner, but for the sake of time, I'm going to leave these as is. If we scroll down to the next section here, we can add the left image to our banner. From here, we can actually choose to add a separate image for our desktop and mobile views, or we can choose to add a video if we like as well. But for my banner, I'm just going to use images, so let's go up to the top here and click the Select Image button. From the menu here, let's upload my image by clicking the Add Images button at the top. You can then find and open up the image that you want to use. Once it finishes uploading, go ahead and click the Done button at the bottom right. And my left image has been added to my banner. If you like, you could click the Select Image button here to upload a different image for your mobile view, but I think this one looks fine. So I've added my left image, so let's scroll down and add my right image. I'm simply going to go through the exact same process to add an image to the right side of my banner. There we go. My split image banner now has images on both sides. So now let's scroll down to the next section here, where we can add our content. From here, we can add a subheading, our heading, and our body text. The text you use will depend on whatever it is you're highlighting on your slide. For my slide, I'm going to promote my women's classic tee. All of your text will appear in between your images, which provides a really cool effect. Underneath your text field, you can use the drop-down menus here to select your heading size and your body text size. For my banner, I think I'll make my heading and my body text a bit smaller. If you like, you can then adjust your content width and alignment, and then you can move down to the buttons section. Here's where you can add and customize one or two buttons for your banner. At the top here, you can add your button label. Make sure you label your button something that's relevant to your slide. Next, you can click the text field here to add a link to your button. When you click the text field, you'll see a menu pop up where you can select the page that you want to send your customer to. For my link, I'm going to send them directly to my Women's Classic T-shirts landing page. And the last customization option for our first button is our button style. We have 3 button styles we can select from, which include solid, outline, or text. I think I'm going to stick with solid. And at the bottom here, we actually have the option to add a second button if we like as well. If you wanted to enable a second button, simply start typing in the button label. But for my banner, I'm just going to roll with one button, so let's delete this one. So my split image banner now has 2 images and text promoting my women's classic tee. Before we continue, let's use the icons up top here to see how my banner looks in mobile view. Not bad. As you can see, for mobile view, my 2 images are at the top and my text and button are at the bottom. Feel free to make any other changes that you like. And once you're finished, make sure you go up to the top right here and click the Save button. And my new split image banner has been saved. Now when customers visit my online store, they'll be able to see this eye-catching banner and click to go directly to my women's classic t-shirts landing page. So we've added a slideshow and image banners to our homepage. Now let's go over how to add a countdown banner. A countdown banner allows you to pair an image with a countdown timer to draw customers' attention and create a sense of urgency. You can adjust the countdown timer for any date, showing exactly how much time visitors have left to get your offer. Keep in mind, countdown banners are available with the Aurora theme, but may not be an option with some other themes. So from your theme customization menu, let's go to the template section on the left-hand side menu. To add a countdown banner to our homepage, let's click the Add Section tab at the bottom here. This will open up a menu where you can view all the sections that you can add to your theme. Go ahead and find and select the tab that says Countdown Banner. This should add the Countdown Banner tab to the menu on the left, and you should see a preview of your countdown banner on the right. So let's start by customizing the style of our countdown banner by clicking the Countdown Banner main tab here. This will open up a menu where you can customize the style and layout of your countdown banner. First, let's use the drop-down menu up top here to select the color scheme for our banner. Feel free to browse the various color schemes and select the one that you like best. Next, you can also adjust the width, the padding, and the ratio of your banner. Feel free to adjust these if you like, but for my banner, I'm just going to leave these as is. So let's continue scrolling down to the image section. Here's where you can add an image, a separate image for your mobile view if you like, or even add a video. For my countdown banner, I'm just going to add an image, so let's go up to the Select Image button at the top here. This will open up a window where you can view all the images that you've previously uploaded to Shopify, and where you can upload new images as well. If you want to upload a new image for your banner, you can click the Add Images button up top here. But for my banner, I've already uploaded an image, so let's select it from my uploads at the bottom here, then click the Done button at the bottom right. And my image has been added to my countdown banner. As you can see, the image will be used as your banner background. From the preview here, my image is a little bit dark and hard to see. So let's scroll down to the slider bars here to adjust my overlay opacity. Here's where you can adjust how light or how dark your image appears on your banner. And there we go. So I've added an image for my desktop view, but let's go up to the icons here and see how my image looks on the mobile view. Since all of my products are on the side of my image, they're not really visible on mobile view. So from the mobile image section on the left, let's add a different image for my mobile view by clicking the Select Image button here. I can then go through the same process to either upload or select a different image to use for my mobile view. There we go. So now when customers view my store on mobile, they'll see this image instead. So if we go back over to the menu on the left, if you continue scrolling down, you can use the options here to edit your content position. And this is where you can adjust your content position, spacing, and alignment on both desktop and mobile. But for my banner, I like it the way it is. But underneath this, I do want to edit my content background. From here, you can use the drop-down menus to select a background for your content. Adding a content background is a great way to separate your content from your background image and make your text much easier to read. Feel free to check out the various options and select the one you like best. So once you finish customizing the style and layout of your banner, go ahead and go up to the top left here and click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So we've customized our countdown banner layout. Now let's add our content. Under the content banner main heading, you should see several tabs that you can customize. First, let's click the subheading tab. Here's where you can add a subheading for your countdown banner. Your subheading will depend on whatever it is you're promoting, but judging from my banner image, obviously I'm promoting my hats, beanies, and visors. Once you add your subheading, go ahead and go to the next tab here to add your heading. From here, you can use the text field up top to add a heading for your countdown banner. When adding your heading, make sure it's attention grabbing and relevant to whatever it is that you're highlighting. And if you like, you can also use the drop down menu here to adjust your heading size. But for my banner, I'm just going to leave it as is. So if we go to the next tab here, we can edit our body text. From here, you can provide more details about your product or whatever it is that you're promoting. You may also want to add a sense of urgency, like time is running out or limited time offer. You can also use the drop down menu to adjust your body text size. And once you're finished, go ahead and click the back button. And from the next tab here, we can adjust our countdown timer. Here's where we can fully personalize the timer that's displayed on our banner. At the top here, you can use the drop-down menu to select the color scheme for your countdown timer. Once you select your color scheme, you can then move down and select your timer background. If we click the drop-down menu up top here, we can select to hide our timer background, show the background for each individual time unit, or show the background for all time units. You can then select the background style, which includes solid, outline, blurred, or transparent. Feel free to select whatever you like, but make sure your timer is easy to read. So now let's continue scrolling down and edit our timer settings. At the top here, you can use the slider bar to adjust the size of your timer. I think I'll make mine a little bit smaller. Next, we can select our timer mode. We have the options to select either a fixed date or an evergreen timer. If you select fixed date, you can use the drop-down menus below to select a specific date for your timer to end. You can select the specific year, month, day, hour, and even minute. When you update your date and time, you'll notice your timer update on your preview on the right as well. And if you click the checkbox at the bottom here, you can hide your timer when it ends. But with the Aurora theme, we also have the option to select an evergreen mode. If you select an evergreen timer, you can scroll down to edit the evergreen settings at the bottom here. With an evergreen timer, you can show a particular user how much time they have to get an offer. When a shopper visits your store, the timer will start specifically for them. Using the top options here, you can select your time unit, whether it's days, hours, minutes, or seconds. You can then use the text field here to add a value. Since I have days selected for my time unit, whatever value I put here will equal the number of days. If I add 5, for example, my countdown timer will start counting down from 5 days. And down at the bottom, you can select what your timer does once it ends. You can either hide it, have it start again, or have it hide and start again in 1 day. So feel free to adjust your timer settings however you like. And once you're finished, go ahead and click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So we've customized our countdown banner text and our timer. So now let's customize our button. If we click the tab here, it'll take us to a menu where we can personalize the button for our banner. At the top here, you can use the text field to add your button label. Next, you can use the field here to add your button link. Simply click the field and it'll open up a menu where you can select the page where you want to send your customer to. And you also have 3 options for your button style, which includes solid, outline, or text. I'm gonna stick with solid. And if you like, you could add a second button to your banner by filling out the information down at the bottom here. A second button could come in handy depending on what you're promoting. But for my banner, I think 1 button will do. So my countdown banner now has a background image, text, a countdown timer, and a button to send customers to my hats collection. Before continuing, let's use the icons up top here to see how my countdown banner looks on a mobile view. Not bad. We can view all of my content, my countdown timer, and even the different image that we selected earlier. So now that we've added our countdown banner, let's go up to the top right here and click the save button. And my new banner has been saved. Now when a new shopper visits my homepage, they'll see my countdown banner promoting my 5-day hat sale. So in the next few demonstrations, we'll be going over various ways to add text to your homepage. Adding homepage text is a great way to display messages that customers can view and read in your online store. With the Aurora theme, we can add text using sections such as rich text, scrolling text, and even multicolumns, which are text paired with images. So to get started, let's head over to the theme customization menu and go over how to add a standard rich text section. The rich text section is available with all Shopify themes and is a great way to add a bold message to your homepage that customers can view. You can use rich text to include a full width block that can include a welcome message, product promotion, information about your brand, or anything else you like. With your rich text section, you can also include a supporting image and a button linking to products, collections, or other areas of your online store. So from the theme customization page, let's go to the template section on the left-hand side menu. To add a rich text section to my Shopify homepage, let's go to the bottom here and click the Add Section tab. This will open up a menu where you can view all the various sections that you can add to your Shopify homepage. So go ahead and search through the list here and find the tab that says Rich Text. This should add the Rich Text tab to the template section on the left, and you should see a preview of the section on the right. So first, let's customize the style of our rich text section by clicking the Rich Text main tab up top here. This will open up a menu where you can personalize the layout of your rich text section. At the top here, go ahead and use the drop-down menu to select the color scheme for your rich text section. There are several options to choose from, so feel free to select the one that you like best. Next, you can use the options here to adjust your section's width and padding. Feel free to adjust these if you like, but for my store, I'm just going to leave these as is. In the next section here, you can adjust your content alignment. You can align your content to the left of the page, the center, or to the right. For my store, I think I'm going to center my content. So now that we've customized the layout of our rich text section, let's click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So next, we can use the sub tabs or blocks here to add the content for our rich text section. So first, let's add an icon by clicking the icon block at the top here. From the menu on the left, we can use the icon drop-down menu up top to select an icon to use for our rich text section. The icon you use will depend on whatever it is you're highlighting in your section. There are tons of icons to choose from, so feel free to browse and select the best one. Underneath the icon drop-down menu, you also have the option to upload a custom icon. If I click the select image button here, it'll open up a menu where I can upload an icon or select from the images that I've previously uploaded to Shopify. I've already added my logo to Shopify, so I'm just going to select this and use it for my icon. There we go, and my custom icon has been added to the top of my rich text section. So my rich text section has an icon, but I think it looks a bit small. So let's adjust the size by going to the icon size slider bar at the bottom here. Here's where you can easily adjust the pixel size of your icon to make it bigger or smaller. I think that looks better. So let's click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. The next rich text block we can edit is our subheading. If we click the tab here, it'll open up a menu with a text field where you can type in your subheading. The subheading you use will depend on whatever it is your text is about. As you type, you'll notice it update on the preview on the right as well. So once you're finished adding your subheading, go ahead and click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. Next, we can edit the main heading for our rich text section. If we click the tab here, it'll open up a menu with a text field where we can add our heading. Go ahead and type in a heading for your rich text section. Your heading will be the most visible text in your section, so make sure it's attention grabbing and relevant to your other text. Once you're finished adding your heading, you can then use the drop-down menu at the bottom here to select your heading size. Feel free to test out various heading sizes and select the one that you like best. Once you're finished, go ahead and click the back button. So we've added our heading and our subheading, so let's use the next block here to add our main text. Here's where you can add up to 3 columns of descriptive text for your rich text section. Each text field here represents a different column, so go ahead and fill in the ones that you want to use. For your main text, you can share information about your brand, describe a product, make announcements, or simply welcome customers to your store. You also have various formatting options that you can also add. And if you need help writing your text, you can actually click the icon here to access the Shopify AI to help write your text for you. You can simply describe what you want, and the AI will generate your text instantly. If I wanted to add a second column to my rich text section, I can simply start typing in the text that I want to use into column 2 here. As you can see from the preview on the right, a second column of text has been added. But for my rich text section, I'm just going to stick with 1 column. And at the bottom here, we can use the drop-down menu to select our text size. Your text size will depend on the amount of text you have and your desired style. So go ahead and select the size of your body text. And once you're finished, go ahead and click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So we've added our icon, subheading, heading, and body text. So now let's edit the last block here, which is our buttons. Here's where we can add 1 or 2 buttons to our rich text section. At the top here, you can add the details for your first button. In the first field here, let's add our button label. For my button, I'm simply going to type View All Products. In the button link field here, we can simply click the text field and it'll open up a menu where we can select where we want to send our customer to. For my button, I'm going to add a link to a page where customers can view all my products. Next, we can use the options here to select the button style. You can select from solid, outline, or text. For my button, I think I'll go with the text option. If you like, you can also use the fields at the bottom here to add a second button to your rich text section. But for this example, I'm just going to stick with 1. So I've finished customizing the rich text section for my Shopify homepage. I have my logo, my subheading, my heading, my text, and my button to send customers to view all of my products. But right now, my rich text section is at the bottom of my home page. I want to move it up towards the top. So to rearrange my section, let's click the dots icon beside the rich text main tab here and drag the section up my home page to go right underneath my slideshow. There we go. My sections have been rearranged. So before continuing, let's use the icons up top here to see how my rich text section looks on mobile. Not bad. All of my content is here neatly arranged. Feel free to make any edits or other changes that you like. And once you're finished, make sure you go up to the top right here and click the Save button. And my new rich text section has been saved and added to my home page. So we've gone over how to add a standard rich text section to your home page. Now let's go over how to add scrolling text. Scrolling text is moving text that scrolls across your online store's homepage. With the Aurora theme, we can add multiple lines of text, including icons, and arrange them any way we like. The lines of text can scroll parallel to each other, or even cross at a selected angle. Keep in mind, scrolling text is available with the Aurora theme, but may not be an option with some other themes. So from the theme customization page, let's go to the template section on the left-hand side menu. To add a scrolling text section to my homepage, let's go down to the bottom here and click the Add Section tab. This will open up a menu where you can view all the sections that you can add to your Shopify theme. From the sections list here, go ahead and find the tab that says Scrolling Text. The Scrolling Text tab should then be added to the menu on the left, and you should see a preview of the section on the right. So first, let's customize the style of our scrolling text section by clicking the Scrolling Text main tab here. This will open up a menu where you can personalize the style and layout of your scrolling text section. If you go to the drop-down menu up top here, you can browse through various color schemes that you can select. Feel free to check out the various color schemes and select the one that you like best. Next, if you like, you can adjust the width and the padding of your scrolling text section. Feel free to adjust these, but I'm going to leave mine as is. The next thing we can adjust here is our layout. To see the difference between the layouts, we'll need to have two scrolling text lines added to our section. So after we add our content, we'll come back to our layout. And finally, at the bottom here, you can select a background for your scrolling text section. Feel free to click the button here to select an image for your background, but for my homepage, I'm just going to leave it blank. So let's click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So now let's add the content for our first scrolling text line. To do this, let's go to the scrolling text section and click the tab here. And here's where we can customize and add the details for our first scrolling text line. In the top text field here, go ahead and type in whatever you want your scrolling text to say. You can use your scrolling text to promote your products, an upcoming sale, or simply make an announcement. Next, you can select your font family, which is either a heading or body text. Compared to the body text, a heading font family will have more of a bold appearance. For this announcement, I think I'll go with the body font family. Below this, we can select our font style. We have the option to select a solid font, outline, or mixed. Let's just go with solid. If you like, you can then customize the style of your announcement bar by adjusting the font size, letter spacing, spacing between messages, and the top and bottom spacing. I'm just going to leave these as is. So let's continue going down and go to the field here where you can add a link to your announcement. If you want to add a link, simply click the text field and it'll open up a menu where you can select a page to send the customer to. But for this example, I don't think my announcement needs a link. But if we look at my scrolling text from the preview on the right, we'll notice an icon that appears in between the lines. This can be changed by clicking the drop-down menu here. Currently, I have a solid star selected, but you can browse the list here and select any icon that you wish. When you select a new icon, you'll see it appear in your scrolling text. And this is a pretty cool way to give your scrolling text some style. Also, if you wanted to use a custom image for your icon, simply go to the Select Image tab here, and you can upload the image that you want to use. And using the slider bar here, you can adjust your icon size. Simply move the slider bar left or right to increase or decrease the pixel size. And underneath this, you'll see the scrolling section where you can adjust the direction your line scrolls and the scrolling speed. Your text can scroll right to left or left to right, and you can use the slider bar to speed up or slow down the text. And at the bottom here, you can fully customize the colors of your scrolling text bar. But I'm going to leave these as is, so let's click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So I've added one line of scrolling text, but let's see if we can add another. To add another line of scrolling text, Go ahead and click the Add Scrolling Line tab here. You should then see another scrolling line added under the scrolling text drop-down menu. With the Aurora theme, we can have up to 2 scrolling lines. To customize your second line, go ahead and click the tab and follow the same steps just like we did with our first scrolling text line. And once you've added 2 lines of scrolling text, there's some other cool stuff that we can do as well. So let's go up and click the scrolling text main tab here. This will take us back to the scrolling text layout and customization menu. Now that we have 2 lines of scrolling text, let's go back down to the layout section. If we select the crossed option, we can then use the slider bars here to adjust the inclination degree and overlapping point position for our scrolling text. This allows your scrolling text to cross at a specific point and provides a really eye-catching section for your homepage. And if you select the parallel option, your lines will remain parallel at whatever inclination degree you set. And go ahead and adjust your layout however you like. And once you're finished, go ahead and click the back button. For my online store, I only want 1 line of scrolling text, so let's click the trash can icon here beside my second line to delete it. Also, my scrolling text is currently at the bottom of my homepage, but I want to move it up above my countdown banner. To do this, let's click the dots icon on the left-hand side of the scrolling text tab and drag it up above my countdown banner. There we go. My homepage sections have been rearranged. So before we continue, let's go to the icons up top here and see how my scrolling text looks on a mobile view. Not bad. The scrolling text provides a really simple yet eye-catching animation. So feel free to customize your scrolling text section as much as you like. And once you're finished, go up to the top right here and click the Save button. And my customized scrolling text section has been added to my Shopify homepage. So we've gone over how to add a rich text and scrolling text section to your Shopify homepage. Now let's go over how to add a multi-column. A multi-column section shows multiple columns of text that can be paired with images to share information about your online store. Each column can include custom text and an image or icon. If you like, you could also add a button to send customers to a selected URL or page. The multi-column section is great for sharing store information such as shipping and return conditions, upcoming sales, or special offers. So let's head over to the theme customization page and go to the template section on the left-hand side menu. Here's where you can browse and add various sections to your Shopify homepage. To add a multi-column section, let's go down to the bottom here and click the Add Section tab. This will open up a window where you can view all the various sections that you can add to your Shopify store. Go ahead and browse through the various sections and select the one that says multi-column. This should add the multi-column section to the menu on the left, and you should see a preview of the multi-column on the right. So first, let's customize our multi-column layout and format by clicking the multi-column main tab here. This will open up a menu where you can personalize the layout of your multi-column section. To select a color scheme for our multi-column section, let's use the drop-down menu up top here. Feel free to browse the various color schemes and select the one that you like best. Next, you can use the options here to adjust the width and the padding of your multi-column section. Feel free to customize this if you like, but I'm going to leave mine as is. So let's move down to select our desktop layout. We have the option to select between a grid layout, which you can see from the preview on the right here, or a carousel layout where shoppers can scroll between your columns. If you're creating a multi-column section with 4 or more columns, then a carousel may be more appropriate. But for my store, I'm just going to go with the grid. Next, we can select our mobile layout. Let's click the icon up top here to see the mobile view for my multi-column section. By default, it'll have a 1-column view as seen here. But if you want it to take up less space, you can select a slideshow layout. With the slideshow layout, shoppers can view each of your columns one at a time. Using the icons at the bottom here, shoppers can easily switch between your columns. And we also have the option to select a carousel layout as well. This will allow store visitors to scroll between your columns all in the same row. But for my online store's mobile view, I think I'm going to go with the slideshow. So now that I've customized the layout of my multi-column, let's move down to the content section. Here's where we can add the main heading and body text for our multi-column section. The heading and body text you use will depend on whatever it is you're highlighting in your multi-column. For this example, I'll just be highlighting the various product collections in my online store. Once you add your content, you can then use the drop-down menus here to select your heading size and your body text size. The size of your text will depend on your personal preference and the amount of text you have. I'm just going to make my heading and my body text a little bit bigger. Underneath this, we can adjust our content alignment. We can align our content to the left of the section, the center, or to the right. I'm just going to go with the center alignment. Next, we can also adjust the heading size, the body text size, and the content alignment for our columns. Go ahead and customize the style of these however you like, and we'll be adding the content later. And using the slider bars here, you can adjust the number of cards you show per row, and also your spacing. For my multi-column, I'm going to be showcasing 3 collections, so I'm just going to display 3 cards. Next, we can use the checkbox here to color our columns. This is a great way to separate your columns and make your text a bit easier to read. And if you continue scrolling down, you can use the section here to add a main button to your multi-column section. Feel free to add a button label and a link, and it'll appear at the bottom of your multi-column. To link to a page in your online store, simply click the button link field here, and you can select whatever page you want to send the customer to. For this example, I'm just going to send customers to view all my products. But since each of my columns will already include links, let's delete my button by removing the button label text here. There we go. And if we scroll all the way down to the bottom here, we can adjust our autoplay mode. If we were using a carousel or a slideshow, we can have each column autoplay one at a time or seamlessly. But since I'm just using a column display, my multi-column will be static. So now that we've customized the style of our multi-column section, let's click the back button and go over how to add the content for our columns. Underneath the multi-column drop-down menu, you should see various blocks representing each column. To add the content for our first column, let's click the first icon column tab here. Here's where we can add the icon and content for our first column. To select an icon to use for our column, let's click the drop-down menu up top here. This will open up a list of tons of different icons that you can select from. Since I'll be promoting my clothing and apparel collection in my first column, let's select the t-shirt icon. And the icon in my first column has been updated. If you like, you could also choose to upload a custom icon by clicking the select image button here. And if you need to adjust the size of your icon, simply use the icon size slider bar. So next, let's continue scrolling down and add our column content. Here's where we can add a heading and body text for our column. The text you use will depend on whatever it is you're promoting, but for my column, I'm going to promote my clothing and apparel collection. Underneath your text, you can also add a link to your column. In the first text field, go ahead and add a link label. And if you click the second text field here, it'll open up a menu where you can select a page where you want to send the customer to. For my link, I'm going to send the customer directly to my clothing and apparel collection. So I've finished adding the icon, my content, and my link to my first column. So let's click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So now that you're finished with your first column, go ahead and follow the same process to add your content for your other columns. For my multi-column section, each column will highlight a different product collection. Feel free to use your multi-column section to promote whatever it is that you like, whether it's upcoming sales, new products, or even shipping information. Currently, my multi-column section features 3 columns, but if I wanted to add more, I could simply click the Add Block tab here. So I've finished customizing my multi-column section, but before we continue, let's use the icons up top here to see how it looks on a mobile view. Not bad. I have my heading and my text, and each of my columns are displayed as a slideshow. I think that'll work. So I've added a multi-column to my homepage, but currently it's located at the very bottom. So let's rearrange the section by clicking the dots icon on the left-hand side of the multi-column tab. I can then easily drag the section to a different location on my homepage. There we go. The multi-column section is now closer to the top of my online store. So before we continue, make sure you go up to the top right of the page and click the Save button. And your multi-column section has been saved to your online store. So we've covered how to add banners and text sections to our homepage. Now let's take a look at various sections you can use to showcase products. This will include standard customizable sections such as a featured product, a gallery, and images with text. I will also demonstrate more advanced ways to display products with the Aurora theme, such as with lookbooks, before and after images, and hotspots. So to get started, let's go over the first way we can showcase a product, which is with the featured product section. A featured product is a standard section that allows you to highlight a selected product on your homepage. Customers will be able to see an overview of the product and the various details such as the product media, price, available sizes, and more. Shoppers can also add the product directly to their cart, or order it directly from the featured product section. So from the theme customization page, let's go to the template section on the left-hand side menu. Here's where you can find and add various sections to your Shopify homepage. To add a featured product, let's go down to the bottom here and click the Add Section tab. This will open up a menu where you can view all the sections that you can add to your Shopify theme. Go ahead and search through the list and find the tab that says Featured Product. This will add the Featured Product tab to the menu on the left, and you'll see a preview of the Featured Product section on the right. So first, let's customize the style of our Featured Product section by clicking the Featured Product main tab here. This will open up a menu where we can personalize our Featured Product section and add our product. So first, let's use the drop-down menu up top here to select the color scheme for our Featured Product section. Feel free to select whatever you like, but I think I'm going to go with contrasting. If you like, you can then use the options here to edit the width and the padding for your section. And if we keep scrolling down, we'll get to the section where we can select our product. If we click the Select Product button here, it'll open up a menu where we can view all the products that are available in our Shopify store. If you have a lot of products, you can use the search bar up top to find the specific one you're looking for. For my featured product, I think I'm going to go with my men's classic t-shirt. Once you select a product, you'll see it added to the featured product preview on the right-hand side. If everything looks good, go ahead and go down to the bottom here and click the Select button. And my men's classic tee has been selected as my featured product. In the next section here, we can adjust our product media. Using the desktop layout drop-down menu, you can select the orientation of your product media. You can have your thumbnails on the left, the right, or the bottom, or have them set up in various column styles. I'm just going to have my thumbnail images on the left. You can then use the options here to adjust the space between your media, your desktop thumbnail size, and your mobile layout. And using the drop-down menu here, you can adjust your image ratio. This will be the shape of your product media. You can select square, portrait, or any of the other options here. You can then use the checkboxes at the bottom here to adjust other options, such as enabling image zoom and video playback settings if you're using a video for your product media. But once you're finished customizing your featured product section, go ahead and click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So I've added my product and customized the style of my featured product section. If we look underneath my featured product drop-down menu, we can see that there are tons of different blocks that are enabled. As you can see from the preview on the right, each block provides a different piece of information about my product. But for the featured product section on my homepage, I don't think all of these blocks are necessary. So to hide blocks that may be taking up a bit too much space, simply go to the Blocks tab on the left-hand side here and click the eyeball icon on the right-hand side to hide it. The block will then be hidden and removed from the preview on the right. Make sure you keep important blocks like your title, price, and buy buttons, but you can remove other blocks that may not be as relevant. Also, some of the blocks can be customized, like if we click the title block, it'll open up a menu where we can adjust our heading size. So feel free to hide unneeded blocks and make any other adjustments that you wish. And using the icon up top here, make sure you also check and see how your featured product section looks on a mobile view. Not bad. I have my featured product, my product media, and my product details. So I've finished customizing my featured product section, but it's currently located at the bottom of my homepage. So to move the section further up on my homepage, let's click the dots icon on the left-hand side of the featured product tab here. I can then drag the section to whatever location that I like. And there we go. My featured product is now located right above my image banner. So before continuing, let's go up to the top right of the page here and click the Save button. And my featured product section has been added to my Shopify homepage. So we've added a featured product to our homepage. Now let's go over how to add an image gallery. A gallery is a section that you can use to display images to showcase products, collections, blog posts, or anything else you like. With the gallery, customers can view multiple options in the same section that they can browse and select from. So from the theme customization page, let's go to the template section on the left-hand side menu. Here's where you can add new sections to your Shopify homepage. To add a gallery, let's click the Add Section tab at the bottom here. This will open up a menu where you can view all the different sections that you can add to your theme. Go ahead and browse through the menu here and find the tab that says Gallery. If you click this, the Gallery tab will be added to your menu on the left, and you'll see a preview of your gallery on the right. So let's start by customizing the layout of our gallery section by clicking the gallery main tab here. This will open up a menu where you can customize the style and layout of your gallery. First, let's use the drop-down menu up top here to select a color scheme for our gallery section. There are several options to choose from, but for my gallery, I'm just going to go with the default. Next, you can use the settings here to adjust the width and the padding of your gallery section. And if you keep scrolling down, you can select your desktop layout. You have the options to select between a carousel, where customers can scroll between the images, or a grid where all the images are displayed at once. I'm going to go with the grid layout. And underneath this, you can also use the drop-down menu here to select your mobile layout. You can have a carousel, a slideshow where customers can slide between the images, or display your images in columns. We actually have the option to display one column or two columns for our gallery. But I think columns take up a bit too much space, so I'm going to go with the slideshow. Now that I've selected my layout, I can now move down to add my gallery content. This includes the main heading and the subheading that's displayed at the top of the gallery. The heading and body text you use will depend on whatever it is your gallery is highlighting. You can use the section to showcase your products, collections, social media posts, or even recent events. For my gallery, I'm just going to show off some of my best sellers. Once you're finished, you can scroll down and use the drop-down menus here to select your heading size and your body text size. I'm going to leave mine as is. And if you want to adjust your content alignment, you can use the options here to align your content to the left, the center, or to the right. And using the slider bars here, you can adjust your card settings. This includes the image ratio for your cards, how many cards to show per row, the space between your cards, and more. Feel free to customize these however you like. And then you can move down to a section where you can add a button. If you like, you can fill out the button label field here to add a button to the bottom of your gallery. To add a link to your button, simply click the field here and use the menu to select the page in your store that you want to send the customer to. And at the bottom of the button section, you can also select your button style. You can select a solid button or an outline. But I'm not going to use a button for my gallery, so let's delete the button label text to remove the button. And at the bottom of our menu, we can select our autoplay mode. My desktop view is simply a column, but for my mobile view, I selected a slideshow. So for my mobile view slideshow, I'm going to select one at a time for my autoplay mode. This should autoplay each of my images one at a time. So now that I've customized the layout of my gallery section, let's click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. If we look underneath the gallery drop-down menu, you should see your image tabs. There are 5 tabs enabled by default, but if you wanted to add another, simply click the Add Image tab at the bottom of the drop-down menu. For each tab you have enabled, you can see an image preview on the right. So let's add my first image to my gallery by clicking the top tab here. This will open up a menu where I can add my gallery image, a link, and more. So to add our first gallery image, let's click the Select Image button at the top here. This will open up a menu where you can view all the images that you've previously uploaded to Shopify, and where you can upload new images as well. To upload the image I want to use for my gallery, let's click the Add Images button at the top. I can then find and open up my image. Once it finishes uploading, make sure you have it selected, then click the Done button at the bottom right. And the first image has been added to my gallery. For this image, I'll be highlighting my men's classic tee. If we like, with the Aurora theme, we could use a video instead of an image in our gallery. But for this demonstration, I'm going to stick with images. So let's keep scrolling down and go to the link field. If you click the link field here, it'll open up a menu where you can select the page in your online store that you want to send the customer to. Since I'm highlighting my men's classic tee, let's add a link to the product page. There we go. Now when customers click my gallery image, they'll open up a link that takes them directly to the product page. So now that I've added my gallery image and the link, let's click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. Next, go ahead and follow the same process for the rest of your image tabs under your gallery menu. For my gallery, I'll be highlighting some of my best sellers, but you can promote whatever you like. Whether you're promoting new products or your most recent social media posts, the gallery can be a great eye-catching section to grab customers' attention. So I've finished adding my 5 gallery images and my links. If I wanted to add another image, I could click the Add Image tab at the bottom here. This will add another image block to my gallery that I can add an image to. If you wanted to delete one of your image blocks, simply hover your mouse over the tab and click the trash can icon on the right hand side. And my image block has been removed. So now that I've customized my gallery, let's use the icons up top here to see how it looks on a mobile view. Not bad. I can see all my images, and for mobile view, I selected an auto-rotating slideshow. I think that'll work. So I'm finished with my gallery, but it's currently located at the bottom of my homepage. So let's move it up a bit by clicking the dots icon on the left-hand side of the gallery tab. I can then drag my gallery section to whatever location I like. Let's move it right underneath my featured product. There we go. I think that's a better spot. So before we continue, let's go up to the top right-hand side of the page and click the Save button. And my new gallery has been added to my Shopify homepage. So next, let's go over how to pair text with multiple images on your homepage using an Images with Text section. An Images with Text section allows you to arrange multiple images and pair them with text to create an attention-grabbing collage. You can use an Images with Text section to feature a selected set of products, tell a story about your brand, or simply promote an ongoing deal. Keep in mind, I'm using the Aurora theme, which allows multiple images in this section, but some other themes may only allow one image with text. So from the theme customization page, let's go to the template section on the left-hand side menu. Here's where you can add and customize the sections of your Shopify homepage. To add an Images with Text section, let's scroll down to the bottom of the templates menu and click the Add Section tab. This will open up the menu where you can view all the various sections you can add to your Shopify theme. Go ahead and scroll through the options here and select the tab that says Images with Text. The Images with Text tab should then be added to the menu on the left, and you should see a preview of the section on the right. So let's start by customizing the style of the section by clicking the Images with Text main tab here. Here's where we can customize the layout and look of our Images with Text section. So using the drop-down menu up top here, let's select our color scheme. Feel free to select whatever you like, but for my section, I'm gonna stick with the default. If you like, you can use the settings here to adjust the width and padding of your section, and then you can move down to adjust your content layout. Here's where you can orient your content to the right or to the left. And underneath this, you can select a grid or a collage for your image layout. I think I'm gonna go with the collage. You can also adjust other image settings here, like the image ratio, and even select the checkbox to rotate your images. And if you want to add an icon to the top of your text, you can use the section here. If we click the drop-down menu, we can view tons of different icons that we can select from. Once you select an icon, it'll be added to the top of your text. And if you wanted to upload a custom icon or logo, simply click the Select Image button here. And if you keep scrolling down the menu, you'll see the section where you can add your content. Here's where you can add your subheading, your heading, and your body text. The text you use will depend on whatever it is you're promoting in the section. Underneath this, you can use the drop-down menus to select your heading size and your body text size. But I think mine looks good as is. So if we keep scrolling down, we can adjust our content alignment. We can use the options to align our content to the left, the center, or to the right. I'm gonna stick with the left. You can then adjust your desktop width if you like, and then move down to the buttons section. Here's where you can edit the button for your Image with Text section. At the top here, you can use the text field to add your button label. And if you click the button link field here, it'll open up a menu where you can select a page in your online store that you can send the customer to. And using the next options here, you can select your button style. You can select a solid button, an outline, or a text link. I think I like the text link. And if you like, you can also add a second button using the fields at the bottom here, but I'm just gonna stick with one button. So let's go back up to the top and click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So now that I've customized my Images with Text section, let's add my images. If you look underneath the Images with Text drop-down menu, you should see several image tabs. Let's add my first image by clicking the first tab here. This will open up a menu where you can add your image, or if you like, you could choose to add a video. But for this demonstration, I'm gonna use images. So let's click the Select Image button here. This will open up a menu where you can add new images to Shopify. To upload my image, let's go up to the Add Images button at the top. You can then find and open up the image that you want to use. Once it finishes uploading, make sure you have it selected, then click the Done button at the bottom right. And my first image has been added to my Images with Text section. So now that my first image has been added, let's click the back button and go through the same process to add the images for my other tabs. You can use the section to highlight whatever you want, but for my section, I'm highlighting some of my top products. I'm also using product mockups because I think these are more likely to grab customers' attention. And there we go. All of my images have been added. If you wanted to add another image, you could do that by clicking the Add Image tab at the bottom here. But for this example, I'm just going to stick with 4. So I've added my images with text section, but it's currently located at the bottom of my homepage. So let's rearrange it by clicking the dots icon on the left-hand side of the Images with Text tab. I can then easily drag the section to my desired location on my homepage. I'm going to add my Images with Text section right underneath my countdown banner. So now that I've finished customizing the section, let's click the icon up top here to see how it looks on a mobile view. Not bad. I have my images up top and my heading and other text underneath. I also have the link that customers can click to view my products. So if everything looks good, go ahead and go up to the top right of the page here and click the Save button. And my Images with Text section has been saved to my Shopify homepage. So next, let's add a really dynamic section that allows you to add a cool effect to your homepage, which is before and after images. With before and after images, you can visually highlight the benefits of your products by allowing visitors to interact with the section. Customers can use a slider to compare two selected images, showing a transformation or comparison of the products. This is a great way to clearly show the benefits of using your products in order to increase customer conversions. Keep in mind, the before and after images section is available with the Aurora theme, but may not be an option with other themes. So from the theme customization page, let's go to the template section on the left-hand side menu. Here's where you can add and customize the main sections of your Shopify homepage. To add my before and after images, let's go down to the bottom here and click the Add Section tab. Here's where you can view all the sections that you can add to your Shopify homepage. Go ahead and browse through the list and find the tab that says Before and After Images. If we select this, the Before and After Images tab will be added to the menu on the left, and we'll see a preview of the section on the right. So to customize our Before and After Images section, let's click the main tab on the left-hand side here. This will open up a menu where we can customize the layout of the section and add our section content. Using the drop-down menu up top here, let's start by selecting the color scheme for our section. Feel free to select whatever you like, but for my section, I'm going to select contrasting. If you like, you can then use the options here to adjust the width and the padding of your section, and then we can move down to the drop-down menu here to adjust our layout. From here, we can select to add our images to the left, to the right, or to the bottom of the section. I think I'm going to leave my images on the right. So next, let's continue scrolling down and add our content. Here's where you can add your section subheading, heading, and body text. The text that you use will depend on whatever it is you're highlighting in your section. For my before and after section, I'm going to compare my summer clothing to my winter apparel. And right below your content, you can use the drop-down menus here to select your heading size and your body text size. My heading looks a little small, so let's make it a bit bigger. There we go. Next, we can adjust our content alignment. We can align our content to the left, the center, or to the right. I think I like the left. Once you adjust your content alignment, go ahead and scroll down to the bottom, and let's add our before and after images. When we add our before image, it'll be added to the left side of our preview. So to add our image, let's click the Select Image button here. This will open up a menu where you can view all the images that you've uploaded to Shopify and where you can upload new images as well. To upload my before image, let's click the Add Images button at the top. I can then find and open up the image I want to use. Once it finishes uploading, make sure you have it selected, then click the Done button at the bottom right. And my before image has been added to my preview. I think that looks pretty good. And if you look underneath here, you'll see a text field where you can change the label. Instead of saying before, I'm going to change my label to summer. I should then see the label change at the top left of the image here as well. So I've added my before image. Now let's go through the same process to add my after image, which will be an image displaying one of my winter items. There we go. And for my after image label, let's change it to winter. So I'm actually using my before and after images section to compare my summer and winter clothing. And customers can interact with the section by using the slider bar to slide between the images. This is a really cool feature that can add some fun to your online store. If we go to the slider bar here, we can set the initial drag position. You can move the starting point to the left or to the right. But for my image, I'm just going to keep it in the center at 50%. So I've added the content and images to my before and after images section. So let's use the icons up top here to see how it looks on a mobile device. Not bad. I got my text up top and my before and after images at the bottom. Customers can use the slider bar here to slide between my summer and winter wear. I think that looks pretty cool. So now that we've added our content and images, let's click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So I finished customizing my before and after images section, but it's currently located at the bottom of my home page. So let's move it a bit higher by going to the before and after images tab and clicking the dots icon on the left hand side. This will allow you to drag your section to whatever location you wish. For my section, I'm going to move it right below my gallery. I think that's much better. Feel free to make any other changes that you wish, but once you're finished, make sure you go up to the top right here and click the Save button. And the before and after images section has been added to my Shopify homepage. Next, we'll be going over how to showcase a set of products in one featured image using a lookbook. With the lookbook, you can simply upload an image that shows the products that you want to feature and identify them on the image using the lookbook pins. When a customer selects a pin, the connected product will be highlighted with a link to the product page. This is a great section to show shoppers how different products can complement each other in a dynamic way. Keep in mind, lookbooks are available with the Aurora theme, but may not be an option with some other themes. So let's head over to the theme customization page and go to the template section on the left-hand side menu. Here's where we can find and add new sections to our Shopify homepage. To add a lookbook to my homepage, let's go down to the bottom here and click the Add Section tab. This will open up a menu where you can view all the different sections that you can add to your Shopify homepage. So go ahead and scroll through the list here and select the tab that says Lookbook. This will add the Lookbook tab to your menu on the left, and you should see a preview of the lookbook on the right. So first, let's customize the layout of our lookbook by clicking the Lookbook main tab here. This will open up a menu where we can customize the style of our section and add our section content. At the top here, let's use the drop-down menu to select the color scheme. They have several to choose from, so feel free to select whatever you like. For my lookbook section, I'm just going to stick with the default. If you like, you can then use the options here to adjust the width and padding of the section. And underneath this, make sure you have the checkbox selected here to enable your pins. Your pins will be the round icons on the main image here that customers can click to select products. Make sure they're enabled, and we'll be adding our image soon. In the next section here, we can add our content. This includes our heading and our body text. The text you use will depend on whatever it is you're displaying in your lookbook. For my lookbook, I'm just going to show off some of my most popular products. Once you add your text, you'll see it appear at the top of the lookbook preview on the right hand side. So next, let's scroll down and use the drop down menus here to select our heading size and our body text size. Your text size will depend on the amount of text that you have and how you want your section to look. And underneath this, you can also select your content alignment. You can align your content to the left, the center, or to the right. For my lookbook content, I think I'm going to go with the center alignment. And there we go. So now that I've customized my layout, let's continue down the menu here to the image section. Here's where we can upload the main image for our lookbook. The main image will be the image that includes the pins that the customers can click. So to add my image, let's go to the section up top here and click the Select Image button. This will open up a menu where you can view all the images that you've previously uploaded and where you can add new images as well. To upload our image, let's go up to the Add Images button at the top here. You can then find and open up the image that you want to use. Once it finishes uploading, make sure you have it selected, then click the Done button at the bottom right. And my main image has been added to my lookbook. For my image, I'm featuring my Quantum Designs mesh trucker hat, my polo tee, and my Quantum Designs flip-flops. I created my image using Canva, and as you can see, I arranged them so that the pins cover the specific products. And if we like, we could use the section here to upload a different image for our mobile view. But I think this image looks fine on mobile, so I'm gonna stick with this one. So if we scroll down to the next section here, we can adjust our cards. Here's where you can adjust the layout of the product cards beside your main image. From the first drop-down menu here, you can select your desktop position. I think I'm gonna go with center right. When you make any changes, you'll see your cards update on your preview as well. From the next drop-down menu here, we can also adjust our desktop layout. You have several grid, carousel, and slideshow options here, so feel free to select the one that you like best. For my layout, I think I'm gonna go with the grid 3 columns. Next, we can use the drop-down menu here to select our mobile layout. For our mobile layout, we have various grid, slideshow, and carousel options that look better on mobile. If I select slideshow, the cards in my preview should now be displayed as a slideshow. I think that looks much better. Using the last settings here, you could also adjust your image ratio, your content alignment, and the gap and spaces between your cards. But I'm gonna leave these as is. So let's go back up to the top here and click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So we've customized the layout of our lookbook section. So now let's add our products. To add the product to our first card here, let's look underneath the lookbook drop-down menu and click the first product tab. This will open up a menu where we can select our first product and use the sliders here to adjust our pin. So to add a product to our first card here, let's go to the select product button at the top of the menu. This will open up a window that displays all the products that are available in your Shopify store. Since my first pin is on my mesh trucker hat, let's find that product and select it. So when a customer clicks the pin here, my mesh trucker hat card should be highlighted. Once you've added your product, go down to the bottom and click the select button. Now that we've added our product, we can then use the slider bars at the bottom here to adjust our pin if needed. This allows you to easily move your pin up or down or left or right. But since my pin is perfectly on my hat, let's just click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. Now that you've added your first product, go ahead and go through the same process for the other product tabs under the lookbook drop-down menu. For my second product, I'm going to add my polo shirt. And for my third product, I'm going to add my Quantum Designs flip-flops. So for my lookbook, I currently have 3 products. If I wanted to add another product, I could easily do this by clicking the Add Product tab at the bottom here. This will add another pin to the main image and another card to the right-hand side. But for my lookbook, I'm just going to stick with 3 products. So now with my lookbook, if a customer clicks the pin on my mesh hat, for example, the mesh hat card on the right-hand side should then be the one highlighted. This is a really cool way for customers to interact with their store and learn more about your products. So we've checked out my lookbook in the desktop view. So let's use the icons up top here to see how it looks on the mobile view. So with the mobile view, my main image with the pins is located at the top. And when a customer selects a pin, the product they select will appear in my slideshow at the bottom. I think this looks pretty good. So I'm finished editing my lookbook, but it's currently located at the bottom of my homepage. I want to move it up right above my gallery section. So to do this, let's click the 3 dots icon on the left-hand side of the lookbook tab. I can then drag the section up and put it right above my gallery. There we go. And my sections have been rearranged. So before you continue, make sure you go up to the right-hand side of the page here and click the Save button. And my new lookbook has been added to my Shopify homepage. Next, we'll be going over how to turn a selected image into an interactive activity on your homepage with Hotspots. A Hotspots section allows you to display an image with clickable pins that can link to selected products, display additional product details, or other information. When a customer hovers over or clicks a hotspot, a pop-up window will appear with product details, suggestions, or a clickable link. Keep in mind, hotspots are available with the Aurora theme, but may not be an option with other themes. So from our theme customization page, let's go to the template section on the left-hand side menu. Here's where we can add and customize the various sections on our Shopify homepage. So to add a hotspot section, let's click the Add Section tab at the bottom here. This will open up a menu where you can view all the sections that you can add to your Shopify store. Go ahead and browse through the list and find the tab that says Hotspots. When you select this, the Hotspots tab should be added to the menu on the left, and you should see a preview of the section on the right. The hotspots are these round icons here that will be displayed on our main image. When a customer interacts with a hotspot, they can view more details about a product or link directly to the product page. So let's start by customizing the layout of our hotspots section by clicking the Hotspots main tab here. Here's where we can adjust the style of our hotspots section and add our content. Using the drop-down menu at the top here, go ahead and select your color scheme. For my color scheme, I'm going to go with contrasting. Next, you can use the options here to adjust the width and the padding of your hotspot section. Feel free to adjust these if you like, but I'm going to leave mine as is. And using the next drop-down menu here, we can select our layout. You have the option to have your image on the left, your image on the right, or at the bottom. I think I like my image on the right. Next, you can use the options here to select how customers can open your hotspots. You can have them open when someone hovers over the hotspot or when they actually click. I think I'll have the customer click my hotspots. And if you keep scrolling down, you'll get to the section where you can add your content. Here's where you can add a subheading, your heading, and the body text for your hotspot section. The text you use will depend on whatever it is that you're highlighting or promoting. Whether you're showcasing products or providing important information about your brand, A Hotspots section is a fun and interactive way to do this. For my Hotspots section, I'll be highlighting some of my most popular products. So once you add your content, you can use the drop-down menus here to select your heading size and your body text size. Feel free to try out different sizes and select the one that you like best. In using the options here, you can adjust your content alignment. You can align your content to the left, the center, or to the right. I think I'll align my content to the left. And if we continue down to the next section here, we can add our image. Using the options here, we can add the main image that we want to use for our Hotspots section. So to add the image for our desktop view, let's click the Select Image button here. Here's where you can upload your image to use for your hotspot. To add an image, let's go up to the Add Images button at the top here. You can then find and open up the image that you want to use. Once it finishes uploading, make sure you have it selected, then click the Done button at the bottom right. And my image has been added to my Hotspots section. For my image, it features 3 different products, which will each be connected to a hotspot. If you wanted to use a different image for your mobile view, you could use the section here. Some images may not look as good on mobile as they do on desktop, so you have the option to add a different one. But all of my products are clearly visible, so I'm just going to roll with this one. So I've customized my layout, added my content, and added my image. So let's click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So from the Hotspots drop-down menu, now let's edit our hotspots. Each tab or block here will represent a different hotspot on your image. I currently have 3 hotspots enabled, but if I wanted to add another, I could click the Add Block tab at the bottom here. This will open up a menu where you can select the type of hotspot that you want to add. We have 3 options here, including an image with text, an icon with text, or we can link a product. I currently have one of each enabled, so let's click the first tab here to edit the image with text hotspot. From here, you can adjust the position of your hotspot, add an image, and add your content. If we look at the preview, the hotspot I'm editing should be highlighted, and we should see the image with text preview as well. For my first hotspot, I need it to be on my coffee cup, so let's use the slider bars here to adjust the horizontal position and the vertical position. This allows you to adjust the location of your hotspot until it's in the exact location that you want. There we go. My hotspot is now on my coffee cup. If you used a different image for your mobile view, you can edit the mobile position of your hotspot using the slider bars here. But since I'm using the same image, the hotspot should be on my coffee cup here as well. So now that I've adjusted the position of my hotspot, let's continue scrolling down and go to the image section. Here's where you can add an image or a video to your hotspot pop-up. For my hotspot, I'm just going to add an image, so let's click the Select Image button here. From my image library, let's upload the image I want to use for my hotspot by clicking the Add Images button at the top. I can then find and open up the image that I want to use. Once it finishes uploading, make sure it's selected, then click the Done button at the bottom right. And my image has been added to my image with text hotspot. I simply uploaded an image of my coffee mug since that's what my hotspot is highlighting, but feel free to get as creative as you like. Next, you can use the slider bars here to adjust your image size and image ratio. Simply slide the slider left or right to make your image bigger or smaller. And I like a square image, but feel free to adjust your image ratio if you like as well. And if we scroll down to the next section here, we can add the content for our first hotspot. This is where you can add your hotspot heading and body text. The text you use will depend on whatever your hotspot is highlighting. For my hotspot, I'm going to add some details describing my coffee mug. When you add your content, you'll see it appear in the hotspot pop-up as well. You can then use the drop-down menus here to adjust the size of your heading and body text. And once you're finished, you can use the section here to select your content alignment. For my alignment, I think I'm going to go with the center. And finally, at the bottom here, we can add a link to our hotspot. When I type in my link label in the first tab here, the link should appear in my preview as well. To add the link, let's click the link field at the bottom. This will open up a menu where you can select the page that you want to send the customer to. Since I'm highlighting my coffee mug, let's select to send the customer to my coffee mug landing page. There we go. And the link has been added to my hotspot. So I finished customizing my first hotspot, so let's use the icons up top to see how it looks on a mobile view. So I have my main image here, and if a customer clicks the hotspot on my coffee mug image with text pop-up should appear. I think that looks pretty good. So let's click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So I've customized my first image with text hotspot, so let's customize my second hotspot, which is an icon with text. Just like before, go ahead and use the slider bars up top here to adjust the location of your hotspot. For this hotspot, I'll be highlighting my Quantum Designs Tri-Blend t-shirt. So let's use the slider bars to move my hotspot over to the left a bit and up to the middle of my t-shirt. There we go. I think that'll work. And for this hotspot, instead of doing an image with text, we're going to be using an icon with text. If I click the icon drop-down menu here, I can view tons of different icons that I can select from. The icon you select will depend on whatever it is your hotspot is promoting. For my hotspot, let's go with the t-shirt icon. And the t-shirt icon has been added to my hotspot preview on the right. If you prefer, you also have the option to upload a custom icon. You could use this to upload a logo or maybe your own design. But once you're finished adding your icon, go ahead and finish setting up your hotspot just like we did with the previous one by adding your content, your link, and other options. And once you're finished, go ahead and click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So for my hotspot section, I now have an image with text hotspot and an icon with text hotspot. So let's customize the last one here, which is the product hotspot. For the product hotspot, you can actually select a product to display in your pop-up. I'm going to be highlighting my Quantum Designs tote bag, so before we add my product, let's use the slider bars here to adjust my hotspot location. I'm going to move it over to the right and down a bit to the middle of my tote bag. There we go. So now that my hotspot is located over my tote bag, let's go over how to add a product. At the top of the menu here, let's click the Select Product button. This will open up a menu where you can view all the products that you've added to your Shopify store. Since I'm using my hotspot to highlight my tote bag, let's find and select my tote bag in the list here. My product image should then appear in my hotspot pop-up. So once you've added your product, go ahead and click the Select button at the bottom. And just like before, go ahead and use the various options and settings to customize your hotspot. And once you're finished, go ahead and click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. And here's my new interactive hotspot section to show off my products. For my coffee mug, I have an image with text hotspot. For my Tri-Blend t-shirt, I have an icon with text hotspot. And for my tote bag, I have a product hotspot. Shoppers can now interact with the various hotspots and learn more details about my products. So we've seen the desktop view, so let's use the icons up top here to see how my hotspot section looks on mobile. So I have my main image here, and whenever a customer clicks a hotspot, the pop-up should appear with the product details and link. So go ahead and check out all your various hotspots and make sure they all look good on a mobile device. I think that'll work. So I finished editing my hotspot section, but it's currently located at the bottom of my homepage. So to rearrange the section, let's click the dots icon on the left-hand side of the Hotspots main tab. You can then drag the section to whatever location you like on your homepage. I'm gonna move mine right underneath my Multicolumn section. There we go. So before we continue, make sure you go up to the top right of the page here and click the Save button. And your Hotspots section has been saved to your homepage. So we've gone over several methods to display individual products on your homepage. So now let's take a look at various ways to show off your product collections. Product collections are, of course, collections of similar items or products that you've grouped together based on some criteria. On Shopify, you can create mini product collections and display selected collections on your homepage in dynamic ways. This includes sections like a featured product, multiple collections, collection with text, a collection list, and a collage. Adding collections to your homepage is a great way to show off and promote products to your customers. So to get started, the first section we'll go over how to add is a featured collection. A featured collection is a section on your homepage that displays a single collection of products that you select. The highlighted collection will be displayed boldly on your homepage so customers can easily find and view its products. This is a great section to show off a single collection and help customers browse complementary products they might like. So from the theme customization page, let's go to the template section on the left-hand side menu. Here's where you can customize and add various sections to your Shopify homepage. To add a featured collection, let's scroll down to the bottom of the template section and click the Add Section tab. This will open up a menu where you can view all the sections that you can add to your Shopify store. Go ahead and browse through the list and select the tab that says Featured Collection. The Featured Collection tab should then be added to the menu on the left, and you should see a preview of the section on the right. From here, customers will be able to easily browse the products in your selected collection. So to customize the section and select our collection, let's click the Featured Collection main tab here. This will open up a menu where we can customize the style of the section and select our collection. Using the drop-down menu up top here, let's start by selecting a color scheme for our featured collection section. Feel free to select whatever color scheme you wish from the list here, but I'm just going to stick with the default. Next, if you like, you can customize the width and padding of your section. Then we can continue scrolling down and use the options here to adjust our layout. For our desktop view, we have 3 layout options to choose from. We could select a grid view, which displays all products on the page at the same time, a carousel view where customers can scroll through your products, and also a slider view with all your products side by side. I think I'm going to go with the slider. So next, we can also use the options here to adjust our mobile layout. You can have a carousel that customers can scroll through, a 1-column view showing all of your products in a single column, or a 2-column view. This looks pretty cool, but for my mobile view, I'm going to go with the carousel. So once you finish selecting your desktop and mobile layout, let's continue scrolling down and go to the section where we can add our collection. Here's where we can select and customize the collection that we want to use for our featured collection. Using the top menus here, you can add a heading, adjust your heading size, and your heading alignment. Once you add your heading and adjust your alignment, you can then move down to the section where you can add your collection. If we click the Select Collection button here, it'll open up a menu where you can view all the collections that you've created for your Shopify store. And if you wanted to create a new collection, you could do that by clicking the Create Collection tab up top here. So for my featured collection, I think I'll go with my hats, beanies, and visors collection. Once you select the collection, you'll see it populate in your preview on the right. I think that looks pretty good. So once you're finished, go down to the bottom here and click the Select button. And my hats, beanies, and visors collection has now been added as my featured collection. If you had individual products that you wanted to add as well, you could use the button here. But keep in mind, products will have priority over your collection, so they'll be shown first. And if we keep scrolling down the menu here, we can adjust our product cards. Using the options here, you can adjust your image ratio, your content alignment, how many cards you want to show, and the space between your cards. And below this, we have the collection card section. Here you'll find other options that you can use to customize the style and layout of your cards. And just below this, you'll see a section where you can enable autoplay. Autoplay is great for providing moving visuals to your homepage, making your featured collection section much more eye-catching. We have 2 different autoplay mode options here, which is 1 at a time or seamless. I think I'll go with seamless, where my products will seamlessly scroll across the screen. And if you like, you can use the slider bar here to adjust the speed of your autoplay. So I've finished customizing my featured collection section, so let's use the icon up top here to see how it looks on a mobile view. Not bad. I have my heading and my products which are scrolling seamlessly across the screen. So I finished editing my featured collection section, but it's currently located at the bottom of my homepage. I want to move it right above my featured product. So to do this, let's click the dots icon on the left-hand side of the featured collections tab. I can then easily drag the section to my desired location. And my homepage sections have now been rearranged. So before we continue, let's go up to the top right of the page here and click the Save button. And my new featured collection section has been added to my Shopify homepage. Next, let's go over how to display multiple collections in a single section using a collection list. A collection list allows customers to view a list of your recent or most popular collections and select which one they would like to browse. You have the ability to customize the collections that are displayed, allowing you to highlight specific groups of products on your homepage. So from the theme customization page, let's go to the template section on the left-hand side menu. Here's where you can find and add new sections to your Shopify homepage. To add a collection list, let's go to the bottom of the template section and click the Add Section tab. This will open up a menu where you can view all the sections that you can add to your Shopify store. Go ahead and browse the various sections and select the tab that says Collection List. The Collection List tab should then be added to your menu on the left, and you should see a preview of the section on the right. So let's customize and add the content for our collection list by clicking the Collection List main tab here. This will open up the menu where we can customize our collection list layout and select our collections. At the top here, let's use the drop-down menu to select the color scheme for our collection list. There are several color schemes to choose from, so feel free to select the one you like best. For my section, I'm just going to go with the default. Next, if you like, you can adjust the width and padding of your section. And underneath this, we can select our desktop layout. We have the options to display our collections as a grid, which will show all of your collections in a grid format, a slider, which will allow customers to slide between your collections, or display your collections in a carousel format. For my section, I think I'll go with the carousel. Using the next drop-down menu here, we can also select our mobile layout. We have the options to select between a carousel, a slideshow, one column, or two columns. If I select slideshow, my collections will be viewable as slides, which can be navigated through using the icons at the bottom here. So we've selected our desktop and mobile layout, so let's move down to the next section here, where we can add our collection list heading. Go ahead and type in the heading that you want to use in the top text field here. And using the drop-down menu, you can also select your heading size. You also have two options here for your heading alignment, which is either to the left or in the center. I think I'll go with the center. And finally, in the next section here, we can select our collections. If you click the Select Collections button, it'll open up a menu where you can view all the collections that you've created on Shopify. For your collection list, you can select up to 50 collections. But for my demo store here, I only have 3 collections, so let's select these. Once you select a collection, you'll notice it appear in your collection list on the right. Also, if you wanted to create a new collection, you could do this by clicking the Create Collection tab here. So once you've selected and added the collections that you want to add to your collection list, go down to the bottom here and click the Select button. So now that I've added my collections, I can now scroll down and customize my collection cards. Here's where you can personalize the look of your cards by changing your image ratio, your content position, your content alignment, and more. Feel free to adjust your card settings until you get them exactly the way you want them. And if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the menu here, you can also enable autoplay mode. If you selected a slideshow layout for your collection list, you can use the options here to have them play one at a time or seamlessly. But since I only have 3 collections, I'm going to leave it off. So I've finished customizing my collection list, so let's use the icon up top here to see how it looks on a mobile view. Not bad. I actually changed my image ratio to square. And since I selected a slideshow layout, customers can use the icons here to slide between my collections. So my collection list section has been customized, but is currently located at the bottom of my homepage. So let's click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu and go over how to move my collection list to a different location. I want to move my collection list right above my image banner. So to do this, let's click the dots icon on the left-hand side of the collection list tab and drag the tab up right above my image banner tab. And my collection list has been relocated. So before you continue, make sure you go up to the top right of the page and click the Save button. And my collection list has been added to my Shopify homepage. Now when customers visit my store, they can go to my collection list and easily browse any of my selected collections. Next, let's go over how to showcase a collection with words using a collection with text section. With the collection with text section, you can add text to a highlighted collection so customers can view more details or the story behind your collection. This provides a great way to draw more attention to a selected collection and provide more information to shoppers. Keep in mind, the collection with text section is available with the Aurora theme, but may not be an option with some other themes. So from the theme customization page, let's go to the template section on the left-hand side menu. Here's where you can add and customize new sections for your Shopify homepage. To add a collection with text section to my homepage, let's go down to the bottom here and click the Add Section tab. This will open up the menu where you can view all the various sections that you can add to your Shopify store. Go ahead and browse through the list here and select the tab that says Collection with Text. The Collection with Text tab should then be added to the menu on the left, and you should see a preview of the section on the right. So as you can see, we'll be able to display the products in our collection as well as some supporting text. So to customize and add content to our Collection with Text section, let's click the Collection with Text tab here. This will open up a menu where we can personalize the layout of our section and add our collection. So first, let's use the drop-down menu up top here to select a color scheme. There are several color schemes to choose from, so feel free to browse and select the one you like best. For my color scheme, I think I'm gonna go with secondary. If you like, you can then adjust the width and padding of your section, and then we can move down to the drop-down menu here to adjust our layout. From here, we can select to have our collection on the left of our text or on the right. I think I like mine on the right. So once you select your layout, we can then move down to select the collection that we want to display. If we click the Select Collection button here, It'll open up a menu where you can view all the collections that you've created on Shopify. Go ahead and browse through your collections and select the one that you want to use for your collection with text section. When you select a collection, you'll see it populate in the preview on the right. If you wanted to create a new collection to use, you could easily do this by clicking the Create Collection tab at the top. But I'm just going to go with my clothing and apparel collection, so let's click the Select button at the bottom here. And my section now displays the collection. If we continue scrolling down the menu, we can use the next section here to add an icon. If you click the icon drop-down menu, you'll see a long list of icons that you can select from. Since I'm promoting my clothing and apparel collection, let's select the t-shirt icon. And my icon has been added right above my text. Also, if you wanted to upload a custom icon or your logo, you could use the button here. So if we continue scrolling down to the next section, we can add our content. This will include our subheading, our heading, and our body text. The text you use will depend on whatever it is you're highlighting in your collection with text section. Feel free to describe, promote, or tell a story about your brand or products. When you add your text, you'll see it appear in the preview on the right as well. And below your text field, if you use the drop-down menus here, you can select your heading size and your body text size. I think I'll make my body text a bit smaller. After you select your text size, you can then use the fields here to add a link. The link will appear right below your text in your collection with text section. In the first text field, go ahead and add a label for your link. I'll label mine View Collection. And to add your link, you can simply click the field here, and it'll open up a menu where you can select the page in your Shopify store that you want to send the customer to. Since I'm promoting my clothing and apparel collection, I'm going to select to send customers to view the collection. And underneath our content section, we can customize our product cards. We can select our image ratio, our content alignment, and use the sliders at the bottom to adjust how many cards to show and the space between the cards. And if you like, you can use the section at the bottom here to have your product cards autoplay. You can have them either play seamlessly or one at a time. And using the slider bar, you can adjust the autoplay speed. So I finished adding my content and my collection to my collection with text section. So let's use the icon up top here to see how it looks on a mobile device. Not bad. I have my icon, my text, my link, and my product cards which are auto-playing one at a time. So I'm finished customizing my collection with text section, but it's currently located at the bottom of my homepage. I want to move it up right above my collection list. So to do this, let's click the dots icon on the left-hand side of the collection with text tab. I can then drag the section up and put it right above my collection list. There we go. My homepage sections have been rearranged. So before you continue, make sure you go up to the top right of the page here and click the Save button. And your new collection with text section has been added to your Shopify homepage. Next, let's go over how to display several collections in the same section on your homepage using a multiple collection section. A multiple collection section allows customers to switch between selected collections and browse through its items using a carousel of product cards. You can use this section to show off products from your recent, most popular, or any other collections you've created in your online store. But keep in mind, the multiple collections section is available with the Aurora theme, but may not be an option with some other themes. So from the theme customization page, let's go to the template section on the left-hand side menu. Here's where you can customize and add new sections to your Shopify homepage. To add a multiple collections section, let's go to the bottom of the template menu. From here, you should see a tab that says Add Section. Go ahead and click that now. This will open up a menu where you can view all the different sections that you can add to your Shopify store. Go ahead and browse through the list and select the tab that says Multiple Collections. The Multiple Collections tab should then be added to your menu on the left, and you should see a preview of the section on the right. As you can see, customers will be able to choose between several collections and easily browse through their products. So to customize our section, let's click the Multiple Collections tab on the left-hand side here. This will open up a menu where we can customize the style and layout of our section and add our collections. So first, let's use the drop-down menu up top here to select a color scheme. There are several to choose from, but for my store, I think I'm gonna go with contrasting. This will give the section a darker look. If you like, using the next options here, you can adjust the width and the padding of your section. But I'm gonna leave these as is and go down to the next section to adjust my desktop layout. We can select a grid layout, which displays all the product cards in a grid format, a carousel where customers can scroll between the products, or a slider to display your products as a slideshow. For my multiple collections section, I think I'll go with the slider. Next, we can also adjust our mobile layout. We can select between a carousel, a 1-column, or a 2-column layout. I think I'm just going to go with the carousel. So now that we've selected our desktop and mobile layout, we can now move down to the next section where we can add our collections. First, let's use the text field up top here to add a heading for our multiple collections section. When you add your heading, you should see an update on the preview on the right as well. You can then use the drop-down menu underneath to select a heading size. Feel free to try out different sizes, but I think I'll keep mine as is. Next, we can adjust our heading alignment. We can align our heading to the left or to the center. I think I kind of like the left alignment. And once you finish personalizing your heading, we can finally go down and get to the section where we can select our collections. If we click the Select Collections button here, it'll open up a menu where you can view all the collections that you've created on Shopify. From here, you can select up to 5 collections to use for your multiple collections section. But I currently only have 3, so let's select all 3 of these. When you select your collections, you'll see them added to the preview on the right as well. From here, customers will be able to easily view all of your selected collections and click them to easily browse through all of their products. So I've selected the collections for my section, so let's move down and use the options here to customize our product cards. You can adjust your image ratio, which will change the dimensions of your cards. Select the alignment for your card content, and if you like, use the slider bars to adjust how many cards to show, how many cards per row, and the space between the cards. You then have a few other collection card options here, but if you scroll down to the bottom, you should see a section that says autoplay. If you selected a slideshow or carousel for your layout, you can have your product cards autoplay one at a time or seamlessly. This is a great way to add some movement to your section and grab some attention. And if you needed to adjust your autoplay speed, you can do that using the slider bar at the bottom. But for my section, I don't think I'm going to use autoplay. So I've personalized and added my collections to my multiple collections section. So let's use the icon up top here to see how it looks on mobile. Not bad. Customers can easily click between my collections and view the products. I think that'll work. So let's click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So I'm finished customizing my multiple collections section, but it's currently located at the bottom of my homepage. I want to move the section right above my collection list. So let's go to the left-hand side of the multi-collection tab and click the dots icon. I can then drag the section up and move it to a new location on my homepage. There we go. And my homepage sections have been rearranged. Before you continue, make sure you go up to the top right of the page here and click the Save button. And my new multiple collections section has been saved to my Shopify store. Next, let's go over how to display selected products, images, and collections in the same section with a collage. A collage is a homepage section that allows you to showcase images, text, products, collections, testimonials, or even videos in a visually appealing way. Using a collage is a great way to grab customers' attention and tell a story about your brand with visual content. So let's head over to the theme customization page and go to the template section on the left-hand side menu. Here's where you can customize and add new sections to your Shopify homepage. So to add a collage, let's scroll down to the bottom of the template menu here and click the Add Section tab. This will open up a menu where you can view all the sections that are available for your Shopify theme. From the list here, go ahead and select the tab that says Collage. The Collage tab will then be added to the menu on the left, and you should see a preview of the collage on the right. As you can see, with the collage, we can add various blocks to the same section that are arranged in a visually appealing way. By default, we have some blocks enabled here, but let's click the Add Block tab at the bottom of the collage menu to see what blocks are available. So for our collage, we have the ability to add a rich text block, a collection, an image, a product, or a testimonial block. For demonstration purposes, for my theme, I think I'm going to add 4 different blocks, including the rich text, collection, image, and product block. I'll add these to my collage section so we can go over how to set each one of them up. If you wanted to delete a block from your collage section, simply go to the right-hand side of the tab and click the trash can icon. So my collage is now made up of my 4 selected blocks, which we can see a preview of on the right-hand side. I think that looks pretty good. So to get started, let's customize the style of our collage. To do this, go ahead and click the Collage main tab at the top here. This will open up a menu where we can personalize the layout of our collage section. At the top here, let's use the drop-down menu to select a color scheme. There are several to choose from, so feel free to try them out and select the one you like best. For my color scheme, I think I'm going to go with the default. If you like, you can then use the options here to adjust the width and padding of your section, and then we can scroll down to the section here to add our heading. From here, we can add a heading for our collage, adjust our heading size, and select our heading alignment. The heading you use will depend on whatever it is you're highlighting in your collage. And if we keep scrolling down here, you can use the slider bars to adjust your card settings. If you like, you can adjust things like your row height and the space between your cards. And once you're finished, go ahead and go down to the next section here where you can adjust your mobile layout. For your mobile view, you have 3 different options. You can select a carousel, a slideshow where customers can slide between your blocks, or a 1-column view that displays your blocks one after the other. For my mobile layout, I think I'll go with the slideshow. So I've finished customizing the style of my collage section. So let's click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So now that we've personalized the layout of our collage section, let's go over how to add content to our blocks. Under the collage drop-down menu, let's go to my first block here, which is the collection block. A collection block allows you to display a selected collection in your collage. If you look at my preview on the right, the collection block is the first block on the left here. If you want to change the color scheme of the block, you can do that using the drop-down menu up top. And underneath, you can use the slider bars to adjust the card size. This is good if you want one of your cards to stand out more than another. And using the next section here, we can add our collection. If you click the Select Collection button, it'll open up a menu where you can view all the collections that you've created on Shopify. For this example, I'm going to select my home and living collection. Once you select a collection, go ahead and click the Select button at the bottom. Your collection should now be added and viewable in your preview. Next, you can use the options here to select the size for your collection title, select whether or not to show the product count, and even add a different image to use for your cover. And using the options at the bottom here, you can add a label for the link to your collection and adjust the content position if you like. So I've finished adding my collection to my collection block, so let's click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So the next tab I have here for my collage is my image block. So let's click the image with text tab here to customize it. Just like before, you can select a color scheme and adjust your card size. And when you're ready, go ahead and scroll down to the image section. If you click the Select Image tab here, it'll open up a menu where you can view all the images that you've previously uploaded to Shopify and where you can add new images as well. To upload the image to use for my collage, let's click the Add Images button here. I can then find and open up the image I want to use. Once it finishes uploading, make sure you have it selected, then click the Done button at the bottom right. And my image has been added to my collage. If we scroll down to the next section here, we can add our content. This will include the subheading, the heading, and the body text that appears on our image. The text you use will depend on whatever it is your image is promoting. For my image, I'll be promoting my soy wax candle from my home and living collection. Once you're finished adding your text, you can use the drop-down menus here to adjust your text size if needed. And if we scroll down to the last section here, we can add our link. Go ahead and type in a link label in the top text field. And to add a link to your image, simply click the field here. This will open up a menu where you can select the page in your online store that you want to send the customer to. Since I'm promoting my soy wax candle, let's find and select that product. Now when customers click the link in my image, they'll be taken directly to my soy wax candle product landing page. Now that I'm finished with my image block, let's click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So my collage now has a collection and an image block. So now let's go over how to customize the product block. This block will show a selected product that customers can click to view. So under the collage drop-down menu, let's click the product tab here to customize the product block. From the top here, if you like, go ahead and use the options to adjust your color scheme and your card size. And underneath this, you'll see the section where you can add your product. If we click the Select Product button here, it'll open up a menu where you can view all the products that you've added to your Shopify store. Go ahead and browse through the list and select the product that you want to display in your collage. For my collage, I think I'll display my Quantum Designs cork-back coasters. When you select a product, you'll see it appear in your preview on the right. So now that I've added a product to my collage, let's go to the bottom here and click the Select button. So now when customers view my collage, they can click my product block and go directly to my Corkback Coasters product page. So let's click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So the last block I'll be customizing in my collage is my rich text block. Here's where you can use text to share more details or information about your brand or products. So from the collage drop-down menu on the left, let's click the last block tab here that says Tell about your brand. Just like before, go ahead and use the top options to select a color scheme and your card size. And underneath this, you'll see a section where you can add your content. From here, you can use the various text fields to add a caption, a heading, and your body text. Feel free to talk about whatever you like in this section, whether it's about your products, your brand, or just a general update. Also, my rich text block is pretty small in my collage, so I'm going to keep whatever I say pretty short. There we go. So now that I've added my text, I can then use the drop-down menus here to adjust my heading size and my body text size. I think I'll make my heading a bit smaller. There we go. And underneath this, we can also adjust our content alignment. From here, we can align our text to the center, to the left, or to the right of the block. I think I like the right alignment. And at the bottom here, you also have the option to add a button to your rich text block. If you wanted to add a link to a product, a collection, or other page in your online store, simply input your button label and select the button link. But for my rich text block, I'm not going to include a button, so let's remove the button label here. So I finished adding the content for my rich text block, so let's click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So for my collage, I now have a collection, an image, a product, and a rich text block. So now, let's use the icon up top here to see how my collage looks on a mobile view. As you can see, each card in my mobile view is displayed as a slideshow. Customers can easily navigate between each block using the icons here. I think that looks pretty good. So before we continue, make sure you go up to the top right of the page here and click the Save button. And your Shopify homepage now has a new collage. So we've gone over several methods to display products and collections on your homepage. Now let's take a look at various ways you can connect with shoppers. Connecting with customers is very important to build your brand and establish long-term success. On Shopify, there are several homepage sections that you can use to easily connect with shoppers and grow your brand. This may include collecting emails for your newsletter, adding a contact form, or even displaying blog posts on your homepage. So to get started, let's head over to the theme customization menu and go over how to add a contact form. A contact form is a section on your homepage that allows customers to leave contact details so you can answer their questions or comments. The contact form can include a heading, text, and fields where customers can enter their name, email, and the message that they want to send. All contact submissions will be sent to the sender email address that's connected to your Shopify store. So from the theme customization page, let's go to the template section on the left-hand side menu. Here's where we can add and customize new sections for our Shopify homepage. So to add a contact form, let's go to the template section here and go all the way down to the bottom to the Add Section tab. If we click this, it'll open up a menu where we can view all the sections that are available to add to your Shopify homepage. Go ahead and browse through the list and select the tab that says Contact Form. The Contact Form tab should then be added to your menu on the left, and you should see a preview of the section on the right. So as you can see, with the Contact Form, customers that visit your Shopify store will be able to easily leave you a message. This is a great way to connect with customers and collect their emails for future marketing. So to customize our Contact Form, let's click the Contact Form tab on the left-hand side menu. From here, we can customize the layout of our contact form and edit our content. So using the drop-down menu up top, go ahead and select a color scheme for your contact form. Feel free to select whichever one you like best, but I'm just going to go with the default. Next, if you like, you can use the options here to adjust the width and padding of your section. I'm going to leave mine as is, but if we scroll down below this, we'll see the section where we can add our content. Here's where you can add the heading and the body text that's displayed at the top of your contact form. Feel free to personalize your text and customize it specifically for your brand or products. Once you finish adding your text, you can then use the drop-down menus here to adjust your heading size and your body text size. For my contact form, I think I'll make my heading a bit bigger. There we go. Once you adjust your text size, you can then use the options here to adjust your content alignment. You can align your content to the center or to the left of the section. I think I'm going to go with the left. And underneath this, you can select your form input style. You can select to have your text fields shown as solid or with an outline. When you select an option, you'll see it update on the preview on the right. For my input style, I think I'm gonna go with solid. And using the top checkbox here, you can select to show the phone number's input field. If we click this, a phone number text box will be added to our contact form, allowing us to collect customers' phone numbers along with the other information. And using the next checkbox here, we can select whether or not to show the reCAPTCHA terms at the bottom of the contact form. This is basically text stating that the site is protected by reCAPTCHA and the Google privacy policy and terms of service apply. So I finished customizing the layout and adding the content for my contact form. So let's use the icon up top here to see how it looks on a mobile device. Not bad. I have my heading, my text, my input fields, and the send button. So whether on desktop or on mobile, customers can use the contact form to easily leave me a message. And remember, the form sends all submissions to the sender email that you assign in the notification settings of your Shopify admin. So before you continue, make sure you go up to the top right of the page here and click the Save button. And your new contact form has been saved to your Shopify homepage. Next, let's go over how to collect customer email addresses with a newsletter sign-up. Adding a newsletter sign-up is a great way to grow your email list and connect with customers through email marketing campaigns. The newsletter sign-up section features a heading with text, a field where customers can enter their email, and a sign-up button. Email addresses that you collect will be stored in the email subscribers section on the customer page in your Shopify admin menu. So let's go over how to add a newsletter section to my Shopify homepage. From the theme customization page, let's go to the template section on the left-hand side menu. If we scroll to the bottom here, we should see a tab that says Add Section. Let's click that now. This will open up a menu where you can view all the sections that are available to add to your Shopify homepage. Go ahead and browse through the list here and select the Newsletter tab. The Newsletter drop-down menu should then be added to your menu on the left, and you should see a preview of the section on the right. So first, let's customize the layout of our newsletter by clicking the Newsletter main tab here. This will open up a menu where we can customize the style and layout of the section. And at the top here, you can view a link to your customer account page where you can view all the emails that you collect. If you ever wanted to access the customer accounts page to view the emails, simply log into your Shopify account dashboard and click the Customers tab on the left-hand side menu here. Here's where you can view all the customers that signed up on your Shopify store. So from the newsletter customization menu, let's go to the top drop-down menu here and select the color scheme. There are several color schemes to choose from, so feel free to select whichever one you like. For my color scheme, I'm going to go with contrasting. If you wanted to color your entire section background instead of having the rounded corners, you could select the checkbox here. This will fill in the entire background with color. And if you like, using the next options here, you can adjust the width and the padding of your section. I'm just going to leave these as is. So let's scroll down to the next section here where we can add an image. We can use the section here to add a background image or even a video to our newsletter section. I'm just going to use an image, so let's click the Select Image button at the top here. This will open up the Uploads menu where you can view your previous uploads and add new uploads as well. To upload my image, let's click the Add Images button at the top here. I can then find and open up the image that I want to use. When it finishes uploading, make sure you have it selected, then click the Done button at the bottom right. And my image has been added to my newsletter background. If you like, you could also use the next option here to upload a different image for your mobile view. But I think this one looks fine, so I'm just going to roll with this. In using the slider bars here, we can also adjust our overlay opacity. Adjusting this will determine how light or dark your image is displayed. This can be helpful if your text or other elements in the section are hard to read. So if we scroll down to the next section of our menu, we can customize our content position. From here, you can personalize the section by adjusting your content position, alignment, width, and spacing. And using the options here, you can also adjust your content position and alignment for mobile devices. I think I like my content aligned on the left on mobile. So the last customization option we have here is our content background. Here's where you can add a background to your text and other content to help separate it from the rest of the section. You have drop-down menus for both desktop and mobile, and several background options including solid, outline, shadow, blurred, or transparent. Feel free to add a content background if you like, and once you're finished, go back up to the top here and click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So we finished customizing the layout of our newsletter section. Now let's go over how to add our content. So underneath our newsletter drop-down menu, let's click the first tab here, which is our subheading. Here's, of course, where you can add a subheading for your newsletter. Feel free to type in whatever you like. Then click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. Using the next tab here, we can edit our main heading. For your main heading, you'll have more formatting options, and you'll even be able to choose the heading size. Feel free to type in whatever you like, but try to make it attention grabbing since it is the main heading. Once you're finished, you can use the drop-down menu here to select a heading size. This will depend on your amount of text and how you want your heading to look. So once you're finished, go ahead and click the back button. Next, let's edit our main text by clicking the tab here. Here's where you can add the body text that's displayed in your newsletter section. For your body text, you should go into more detail and explain why the customer should sign up to your newsletter. You can talk about the information they'll receive or maybe a free offer that you have. And using the drop-down menu, you can also select your body text size. Feel free to customize your body text as much as you like. And once you're finished, go ahead and click the back button. And finally, let's click the last tab here to customize our subscribe section. From here, we only have one option, which is to edit our input style. We can have a solid subscribe section or have it outlined. I think I like the outline. So let's click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So those are the 4 default blocks for your newsletter section. But if you wanted to add another block, you could do that by clicking the Add Block tab here. From here, you can select another one of the blocks that we've already gone over. Or if you have the Aurora theme, you can even select a countdown timer. This is a cool feature that allows you to add a countdown timer to your newsletter and add a sense of urgency. But I currently don't have a timed offer, so let's delete this for now. If you wanted to move your newsletter to a different part of your homepage, you can do that by clicking the dots icon on the left-hand side of the tab here. You can then drag your newsletter section to whatever location you want on your homepage. So now that I've finished customizing and arranging my newsletter section, let's use the icon up top here to see how it looks on a mobile device. Not bad. I have my text, my email sign up, and you can see my image in the background. So if everything looks good, go ahead and go up to the top right of the page here and click the Save button. And the newsletter section has now been added to your Shopify homepage. If you're using a service like ActiveCampaign or MailChimp for your newsletter, you can easily integrate it with Shopify using a Shopify app. From your Shopify dashboard, if you click the Apps tab on the left-hand side menu, it'll open up a search bar where you can search for the app that you want. If I search for email marketing in the Shopify App Store, we can view tons of different email marketing apps that are available to connect. I currently use MailChimp, but feel free to use whichever one you like. Next, let's go over how to display your latest posts on your homepage with the blog post section. With the blog post section, you can easily add selected blog posts to your homepage that you want to highlight. Blog posts are a great way to connect with customers and educate them about your products and brand. So from the theme customization page, let's go to the template section on the left-hand side menu. Here's where we can customize and add new sections to our Shopify homepage. To add a blog post section to my homepage, let's scroll down to the bottom here and click the Add Section tab. From the menu here, you can view all the sections that are available to add to your Shopify theme. Go ahead and browse through the list and select the Blog Post tab. The Blog Post tab should then be added to your menu on the left, and you should see a preview of the section on the right. So to customize the section and add our blog post, let's click the Blog Post tab. This will open up a menu where we can customize the style and layout of our blog post section. If we click the drop-down menu up top here, we can select a color scheme. There are several color schemes to choose from, so feel free to select whichever one you like best. For my color scheme, I think I'm gonna go with the white text. Next, if you like, you can use the options here to adjust the width and padding of your section. And if we continue scrolling down, we can adjust our desktop and mobile layout. For our desktop layout, we have the option to select a grid view or a carousel. I think I'll go with the carousel so customers can simply scroll through the blog post. And for our mobile layout, we can select a carousel or a one-column grid view. With the one-column layout, it will display all your selected blog posts in a single column. But with the carousel, they can simply scroll through your blog posts. I think the carousel provides a much more compact and cleaner look, so I'm gonna go with that. And using the next options here, we can add a heading for our blog post section. In the first field here, go ahead and type in the text for your heading. For my heading, I'm just gonna say latest blog post. When you type in your heading, you should notice it update on the preview on the right as well. And if you want to change your heading size, simply use the drop-down menu here. You can select a higher number to make your text smaller, or a lower number to make it bigger. I think I'll just go with this. And underneath the heading size drop-down menu, you can also adjust your heading alignment. You can align it to the left of the section, or to the center. I think I like the center alignment better. So we've customized our layout and added our heading. So now let's select the blog that we want to highlight in our section. To select a blog to display, let's click the Select Blog button here. This will open up a menu where you can view a list of all the blogs that you've created. You can select a blog from your list here, or if you like, you can click the tab up top to create a new blog. On Shopify, you have the ability to create multiple blogs, which is great if you have several niches or topics you like to cover. But since it already contains a few posts, I'm simply going to go with my Quantum Designs blog. When you select a blog, you'll see the blog posts appear in your preview section. I thought I created more posts for this blog, but looks like it's only one. But that's going to have to do for this example, so let's go down to the bottom here and click the Select button. And my Quantum Designs blog has been added to my blog post section. And if we scroll down to the next options here, we can select how our posts are displayed. Using the top slider here, we can adjust our image ratio. With this, you can adjust the dimensions of your blog post cards. And using the checkboxes underneath, you can select to show the author, the date, the comment count, an excerpt, or the read more link. And with the slider bars here, you can adjust how many posts to show, how many posts you want per row, and the space between your cards. But since I only have one blog post for this demonstration, I'm just going to leave these as is. And in the last section here, we can select to add tags. You can select to show no tags, all your tags, or selected tags. To select tags to show, simply type in the tags that you want to add in the text field here. When you type in your tags, make sure you separate them with commas. But I have the all option selected, so all tags associated with my blog post are being displayed. Also, we can select to have the tags displayed on top of our image or underneath the image. Or if you like, you can click the None option here to remove your tags altogether. This has a cleaner look, so I think I'll actually go with this. So I finished customizing my blog post section and adding my blog. So let's use the icon up top here to see how it looks on a mobile device. Not bad. I have my heading, my image, and my text. And if I had more blog posts, customers would be able to scroll through them with my carousel layout. So if everything looks good, go ahead and click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So I finished adding my blog post section, but it's currently located at the bottom of my homepage. I want to move it right above my contact form. So to move my blog post section, let's go to the blog post tab and click the dots icon on the left hand side. I can then simply drag the section to whatever location I wish. And there we go. My blog post section is now right above my contact form. So before we continue, let's go up to the right hand side of the page here and click the Save button. And your new blog post section has been added to your Shopify homepage. Next, let's go over how to add compelling visuals to your homepage with a video. With a video, you can educate shoppers about your products, tell your brand story, and build a closer relationship with your customers. On Shopify, you can add a video by either adding a link from YouTube or by uploading your video directly to Shopify. We'll cover both methods and various options to personalize your homepage video. So from the theme customization page, let's go to the template section on the left-hand side menu. Here's where you can customize and add new sections to your Shopify homepage. To add a video, let's scroll down to the bottom here and click the Add Section tab. This will open up a menu where you can view all the sections that are available to add to your Shopify theme. Go ahead and scroll through the list here and select the Video tab. This will add the Video tab to your menu on the left, and you'll see a preview of the video section on the right. So to customize our video section and add our video, let's click the Video tab on the left-hand side menu. Here's where we can customize our layout, edit our content, and add our video. Using the drop-down menu up top here, let's select a color scheme for our video section. Feel free to select whatever color scheme you like, but I think I'm going to go with the white text. Next, if you like, you can use the options here to adjust the width and the padding of your video section. I'm just going to leave these as is. So let's continue scrolling down to the section where we can add our video. We have two options here to add our video, including uploading it as a Shopify hosted video or embedding it from YouTube. First, let's go over how to embed a video from YouTube using the section here. Before you can embed a video, you'll first have to upload your video to YouTube. I like to upload the video as unlisted so it's not displayed on my main YouTube channel. But once you upload your video, you can simply copy the video URL. Now that I've copied the link, let's head back over to the Shopify theme editor. I can now simply paste the link into the embedded video field here. Once you paste in your link, you should see a preview of your video appear right below it. Once you save your settings, the YouTube video will then be playable on your Shopify homepage. But let's delete the link here and go over how to upload a video as a Shopify hosted video. To upload a video directly to Shopify, let's click the Select Video button here. This will open up a menu where you can view videos that you've previously uploaded and where you can add new videos as well. To upload my video, let's click the Add Videos button at the top here. You can then find and open up the video that you want to use. Once it finishes uploading, make sure you have it selected, then click the Done button at the bottom right. Your video should now be uploaded and viewable in the preview on the right. My example video will be used to promote my clothing and apparel, but feel free to make a video promoting your products, introducing your brand, welcoming your customers to your store, or anything else that you like. Using the next tab here, we can also add video alt text. This is where you can describe your video for customers using screen readers. And below this, you can enable several video options such as autoplay, your controls, looping, or mute the video. I'm going to enable looping so my video continuously plays on my homepage, but keep in mind the video will be automatically muted when looped. And using the next section here, we can add a cover image. If I click the Select Image button here, it'll open up a menu where I can view all the images that I've previously uploaded to Shopify and where I can upload new images as well. To upload my cover image, let's click the Add Images button up top here. I can then find and open up the image I want to use for my cover. Once it finishes uploading, make sure you have it selected, then click the Done button at the bottom right. And my new cover image should now be added to my video. As you can see, it's actually the same hoodie, but a much better scenery in the background. If you like, you can also use the slider bars here to adjust your overlay opacity. This will change how dark or light your image is, and is super useful if your text is hard to read. And if we continue scrolling down, we'll see the section where we can add our content. From here, you can add a subheading, a heading, and some body text to your video. The text you use will depend on the purpose of your video and what your video is about. I'm just going to add some generic text about my clothing and apparel. Once you finish adding your text, you can use the drop-down menus here to adjust your heading size and your body text size. I think I'll just make my heading a bit smaller. Once you're finished with your text, you can then go down to adjust your content position. Here's where you can adjust the position of your content alignment, its width, and the spacing. And just below this, you also have options to adjust the position and alignment for content on mobile devices as well. Feel free to customize this until your mobile view looks perfect. So I've customized my layout, added my video, and added my content. So let's click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So I finished customizing my video, but I want to move it near the top of my homepage right above my gallery. To do this, let's click the dots icon on the left-hand side of the video tab. I can then easily drag my video section anywhere I like on my homepage. And there we go. And my homepage sections have been rearranged. So once you're finished, make sure you go up to the top right here and click the Save button. And my Shopify homepage now has an eye-catching video. So we've gone over how to personalize the main section of our homepage. Now let's go over how to customize our store footer. Your footer is an important section of your online store that will be shown at the bottom of every page. You have the ability to customize your footer with an array of blocks, including a menu, text, social media links, images, and more. Your footer can be a valuable resource to customers, helping them navigate and learn more about your online store. So from the theme customization page, let's go to the footer group at the bottom of the left-hand side menu. In your footer group, you can add new sections and customize your footer blocks, which will be shown on all pages. If we click the Add Section tab here, it'll open up a menu where we can view all sorts of different sections that we can add to our footer group. This includes an accordion, which is great for adding a facts section to your footer group, blog posts, a contact form, and much more. But for this tutorial, we'll be focusing on your footer itself and your footer blocks. Your footer blocks are the various sections that you can see on your footer preview. We'll be going over how to customize and add new blocks to your footer, but let's start by customizing our footer layout. To customize the layout of our footer, let's click the footer main tab at the bottom of the left-hand side menu. This will open up a menu where we can personalize our footer layout and customize the bottom bar of our footer. So first, let's use the drop-down menu up top to select the color scheme. Feel free to select whatever you like, but for my color scheme, I think I'll go with contrasting. This will make my footer background dark and my text light. And underneath this, if you like, you can also adjust the width of your footer. I'm going to leave mine as is, so let's move down to select our desktop column count. From here, we can select to have our footer display 3 columns or 4 columns. If I select 3 columns, you'll notice one of my blocks move to the bottom here. I'll be adding several blocks to my footer, so let's go with 4. Next, let's move down to the next section here to customize our bottom bar. This is the bottom part of your footer that can display several items, such as a menu or payment icons. If we want to update the navigation menu in our bottom bar, we can use the top section here. If we click the change button, it'll open up a drop-down menu where we can change the menu or remove the menu. If we select the change menu tab, it'll open up a menu where you can select a menu that you previously created on Shopify, or where you can create a new menu if you like as well. On Shopify, you can have several menus, so I recommend having different menus for different parts of your online store. Next, you can use the checkbox here to select whether or not to show your payment icons. Your payment icons displays all the different payments that your Shopify store accepts, but as you can see, it takes up a lot of space, so I think I'm going to remove mine. And there we go. Everything now looks much cleaner and my menu is no longer scrunched up. In the next section here, we can use the text field to add a copyright notice. The copyright notice will appear at the bottom of your footer and can include the copyright symbol, year of publication, your brand name, and statement of rights. For this example, I'm just going to go with Copyright Quantum Designs 2024. Under your copyright notice, you have several options here that you can enable or disable. First, you can enable the Follow on Shop button. This will allow customers to follow your store on the Shop app, but you have to have the payment icons enabled in order to see it. Here's what it looks like here, but I'm not going to show my payment icons, so I'm not going to show my Follow on Shop button either. So using the next options here, we can select to show our language selector and our currency selector. These appear as drop-down menus at the bottom of your footer and will allow customers to switch between the languages and currencies that you have available in your shop. But if you only have one currency or language available, then you can probably just disable these. And using the last option here, you can select to show your policy links. Your policy links will appear at the very bottom of your footer bar. If you want to update or add your store policies, you can go to your policy settings. So feel free to personalize your bottom bar as much as you like. And once you're finished, go ahead and click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So now that I've selected a color scheme and personalized the bottom bar of my footer, let's go over how to add and customize our footer blocks. First, let's go to the footer tab and click the left arrow to open up the drop-down menu. Here's where you can view the blocks that are enabled on your footer and where you can add new blocks as well. I currently have 4 blocks enabled, but if I wanted to add another, I could simply click the Add Block tab here. This will open up a menu where you can view all the different blocks that are available to add to your footer. You can add an image block, a text block, a logo with text block, a subscribe block, a social media block, or a menu block. We're going to demonstrate all of the blocks, so let's add the image block and the text block to my footer. When you add a new block, you should see it appear in the preview on the right hand side. So now that I've added all of the block types to my footer, let's go over how to edit the first block here, which is the logo with text block. If I click the logo with text tab, it'll open up a menu where I can add a logo and text to my block. Let's add a logo by clicking the select image button at the top here. This will open up a menu where you can view all the images that you've previously added to Shopify and where you can add new images as well. I've previously uploaded my brand logo, so let's select it, then click the done button at the bottom right. And my logo has been added to my logo with text section in my footer. If you need to adjust your logo size, you can do that using the slider bar underneath here. I think I'll make my logo a bit smaller. There we go. I think that looks much better. So I've added my logo. Now let's add my text. Using the text fields here, you can add a heading and some body text to your block. Feel free to talk about your brand, your products, or anything else that you like. So I've finished with my logo with text block, so let's click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So the next block I have enabled on my footer here is the menu block. If I click the menu tab from the footer drop down menu, you'll be able to use the options here to change your menu and add a heading. If you want to change the menu that's displayed in your footer block, simply click the Change button here. You can then click Change Menu, and it'll open up a menu where you can view all the menus that you've previously created on Shopify, and where you can create a new menu if you like as well. When you select a new menu, you'll also see it update on the preview on the right. If you haven't already, I recommend creating custom menus for the different parts of your online store. To do this, simply click the Create Menu tab at the top here. This will take you to a page where you can create a new menu for your Shopify store. From here, you can easily add a title for your menu and add your menu items. But for this example, I'm just going to go with one of my default menus, so let's go down to the bottom here and click the Select button. And using the text field underneath here, you can also add a heading for your menu. Go ahead and add your menu heading, and once you're finished, click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So I've customized my image with text block and my menu block, so let's move on to the next one here, which is the social media block. If I click the social media tab here, it'll open up a menu where I can edit the heading and the body text for my block. Feel free to type in whatever you like for your heading and body text, but keep in mind your social media links will be displayed underneath. Icons for all of the social media pages that you've connected will be displayed. If you need to add your social media links, you could easily do that by clicking the theme settings icon on the left-hand side here. For my text, I'm simply going to ask customers to connect with us and visit our social media pages to learn more about our products. So once you add your heading and body text for your social media block, go ahead and click the back button. So the next block we have here is our subscribe block. With the subscribe block, customers can leave their emails so you can send them updates and add them to your marketing campaigns. Email addresses that you collect will be stored in the email subscribers section on the customer page in your Shopify admin menu. So to customize my subscribe block, let's go to the footer drop-down menu and click the subscribe tab. From here, you can customize the block's heading, body text, and select an input style for your email collection. For your heading and body text, make sure you use wording that makes customers want to sign up. By signing up, maybe they'll receive new updates or maybe even special discounts. Once you add your text, you can then select an input style. You can choose between a solid input style or the outline input style. I think I'll go with the solid. And if we check out the top of the menu on the left here, we can see a message that says each email subscription creates a customer account. From your Shopify account dashboard, if you go to the Customers tab on the left-hand side menu, you'll be able to view all the customers that signed up to your store. So once you finish customizing your subscribe block, go ahead and click the back button. So the next block we have here in our footer is our text block. So let's click the text tab in the footer drop-down menu. From here, you can add a heading and body text to your block. This is a basic block where you can add whatever text you like to display to your customers. Feel free to share information about your brand objectives, your sources of inspiration, encourage customers to share your store, or whatever else you like. Once you're finished, go ahead and click the back button. And the last example block we have here in our footer is our image block. So let's go to the footer drop-down menu and click the image tab. From here, you can add an image or even a video to your footer. For this example, I'm just going to add an image. So let's click the select image button at the top here. This will open up a menu where you can view all the images that you've previously uploaded to Shopify and where you can upload new images as well. To upload an image to use for my footer, let's click the Add Images button at the top here. I can then find and open up the image that I want to use. Once it finishes uploading, make sure you have it selected, then click the Done button at the bottom right. And my image has been added to my footer block. If you like, you can also use the slider bars here to adjust your image ratio and your image size. And using the field at the bottom here, you can also add a link to your image. Simply click the text field and you can select the part of your online store that you want to send the customer to. Since my image just shows various items, I'm going to send the customers to view all my products. So once you add your image and add your link, go ahead and click the back button to go back to the theme editor main menu. So I've finished adding and customizing all of the footer block types that are available with the Aurora theme. If you wanted to add even more blocks to your footer, you could do this by clicking the Add Block tab at the bottom. You can then select and add any of the block types that we've gone over. And if you wanted to hide or delete a block, simply use the icons on the right hand side of the tab. So I finished customizing the footer for my Shopify store, so let's use the icon up top here to see how it looks on mobile. I have my image with text block, my menu, my social media block, my subscribe block, my text, and my image block. We can also view all the items in the bottom bar of my footer. I think that looks pretty good. So before we continue, let's go up to the top here and click the Save button. And the footer for my online store has now been saved. So we've gone over how to add tons of different sections to our Shopify homepage. Now let's go over how to adjust some final settings and publish our new theme. Once you publish your theme, all of the sections that we added and customized will go live, and customers will be able to view them when they visit your online store. So if I scroll to the template section on the left-hand side menu, you can see I now have tons of different sections added to my Shopify homepage. Go ahead and check out all your different homepage sections and rearrange them to whatever layout that you like best. You can easily rearrange your sections by clicking the dots icon on the left-hand side of the tab, then drag it to whatever location that you wish. And keep in mind, the more sections that you have enabled, the slower your store speed might be. This is especially true with moving sections like my scrolling text here. If I go to the scrolling text tab on the left-hand side menu, we can see there's two icons on the right-hand side. If you click the eyeball icon, you can hide the section from your homepage. The section will be hidden, but everything will be saved and you can unhide it anytime you want. But if you click the trash can icon here, you can completely delete the section from your homepage. At the top of your online store page from your Shopify dashboard, you can actually see your store speed. If your store is running slow, you may want to delete or hide other sections on your homepage. So go ahead and review your entire store on both desktop and on mobile and make any changes that are needed. And if you make any changes, of course, make sure you save them. There we go. So if you're finished customizing your theme and making your final changes, let's go up top here and click the Publish button. You'll then see a confirmation message stating that your customers will see this theme when they visit your online store. Go ahead and click the Publish button at the bottom right. And the Aurora theme and all my changes have now been published to my Shopify store. So let's check out my new store by clicking the Visit Your Store tab at the top here. And here's my Shopify store customized with the Aurora theme. I have my announcement bar with rotating announcements, my fully customized store header with dynamic menus, my slideshow, my pop-up that appears when customers are scrolling down my page, my split image banner, and all the other sections that we added and customized for my homepage. So hopefully you've been following along and you now have a fully customized Shopify store that's ready to make some sales. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.